much funding do you need to start your business? How do you capitalize your business? Capitalize is the money. So how do you bring that about? How do you capitalize that? You're going to take it out of your retirement account? You're going to borrow it from your mama? You know, Uncle Jojo going to give it to you, and then he's going to want to run the business, and he's going to tell you, okay, baby girl, you know, you made $1 million this year. I want my money back. And you know it was 50% interest on it, so I need half of the cut. I need about $500,000 from you. You know, then all of a sudden you got issues.
Right.
Even everybody told you, oh, don't mess with Uncle Jojo. You know
Right.
bad.
Uncle Jojo gonna be on Judge Judy.
Yeah. Yeah. Gregory.
So on the episode of Shark Tank that I watched, not Friday, the other one, I love the show. I haven't recorded for DER and I haven't even got to the YouTube episode. But one thing I was trying to understand when I was watching, I was like, my eyes were like, oh, this is what I need to be watching. This is how I need to, you know.
Yeah, me too. I did that when I watched it this Friday.
Oh, you did? Did you like the roach thing?
That was weird. And that quirky lady, she was just over in, yeah, she was over in.
Go ahead, Greg, I'm sorry.
I know, it's okay. So what did it mean when they're asking for, you know, $100,000, right? With a, let's say, a 10% stake in the company, right? What does that 10% mean, or what does that certain percentage mean? How much money they're going to get?
Means every time your company goes up in value, they get 10% of it. So if your company's worth $100,000 now, and in a year it's worth $1 million, they get 10% of that $1 million based on their investment.
Okay.
And maybe interest on their investment.
And so those terms are those time term durations are written out in the contract.
They do that in contract, yeah.
Okay.
And when they try, like last night, the one person wanted 75%, the other wanted 51%. That makes you managing partner in it, so you make all the decisions.
Okay,
even
yeah.
if it's my company and I sold you 51%, you make the decision. Now,
right.
You know, I'm working for you basically, but when we make profit, you get 51%, I get 49, and you can tell me what we will do and won't do.
So at what at 50% is when that other when the person has when is able to start making decisions.
51%. 50% you
or
split
more
the decision.
Is when 51%
is when you make decisions. Your computer, I forget what the proprietary owner or whatever.
Okay, so that's
we'll talk about that in later
okay,
classes,
cool.
yeah. But when you buy the percentage, you get 10% of everything that company makes. So any profit, when they buy property, when they buy equipment, and sell anything, you get 10%. And they've got people in Joseph Business School, Chicago. That's all they do is they invest in. They come to the class. There's some of the teachers, and they got real money. They invest in the businesses. Teach some of the classes, they know what's going on, and they'll sit down with the students afterwards and come here, let's talk, and you know, here, I got $1 million, I'm gonna sponsor your business, but I want, you know, 50%.
Are any of those people coming to this class? I need to tell them something. Let me talk to you right quick. Let's huddle. We need to huddle. Come.
We'll see what we can do. But if you got a good business plan, you will have people, you know, one, what is it, SNL persona? We're still trying to get them to open up so we can invest in them. They got a good thing going there. So, but they go to the church here. Role of critical issues. The critical issues list. It's kind of a specific focus and framework for an organization. So in discussing and developing strategies to achieve their goals. So what you want is what's critical. You know, you come up with, when you brainstorm, you come up with a list of all kinds of stuff. But you got to pick like the top 3. What are real critical? What are things you have to do? Capitalizing your company, getting some money to start up, where you take it out of your savings, your 401k, you sell your hoopty, whatever. You got to have somewhere to get some capital. You know, so you got to figure that out. That's critical. So what other things are critical? You have well, Clarice, you need a facility. That's critical. Sounds like you got a line on it already, but that's critical. Now you got to capitalize with somebody. You're gonna have a percentage of your business because they help you get a facility. Some things to think about. You know, so when you're looking at your business, you know, how does this go into your business? So you assess proposed strategies by asking, does the strategy meet or need the critical issues? So you do your critical issues list, and then you say, okay, now, does the strategy I put together meet these critical issues or not? If not, move it down. Come up, look at your other strategy. Is the strategy aligned with my mission? So I came up with a strategy. Does it follow my mission or does it detract from it? If it doesn't, move it down, come up with a better strategy. You want to work on the strategy that align with your mission and your critical issues. Is the approach financially feasible? Do you have the resources and the capital to do what you got for that strategy? Do you have a resource to get that money? If not, move it down, come up with another strategy, and see if something that comes with those 3 or 4 critical issues that you came up with. So everything you have to put to a test. Because you can come up with all this glorious stuff, but if you can't do it, you can't fund it, or it detracts from your mission, don't do it. It's just going to take you away, and you have to redo this over and over. You keep going, I don't know, my company won't go nowhere. You're spending your time on things that don't further the mission of your company and help you grow and do what you're supposed to be doing. You know, it's like you're supposed to be doing the dishes, but you're sitting around watching Shark Tank. I'm trying to think of the brother that's got the show that does Steve Harvey. You watch Steve Harvey instead, and you can't do the dishes. It's time to do dinner, but you're being distracted, so you can't get dinner ready because you got other priorities. You know, you got other things that are distracting you. So it's the same thing when you're trying to put your company together, because you're watching Family Feud and Steve Harvey back to back, and you lost 2 hours right there. So a critical issues list, you know, you want to increase your sales by 10%. So what's a list of critical issues you might have when you want to increase your sales? Give me an example of something that you might be critical to increasing your sales by 10%. What's critical if you're going to do that? You're going to increase your income by 10%. That has to be a sale. What is something critical that you have to do there?
I need to have funds to hire people.
Okay, so you need funding. Okay. What else? Another critical issue then if you need funding?
How about directions to invest in some of these?
Okay, so you need somebody to just teach you how to invest.
Right,
Get some
right.
information on how to invest. What, Gregory?
Selling something is more likely going to be a product, so you would need more product.
Might need more product.
You need more
Yep.
product.
What's other thing? Maybe key.
You would need to advertise whatever that product would be.
Okay, you need a marketing plan.
Marketing
You
plan.
have some way to market it. You know, the marketing plan includes finding where the resource, where the money is, where it's coming from. Even with you trying to get more money, now you need to identify funding sources. Is it going to be grant? Is it going to be donations? You know, do you do a fundraiser? You know, how do you do it? You do a cake sale? You gonna sell chicken dinners? Somewhere you got to figure this out. So what are your critical issues? So what you got to do is brainstorm like we just did and come up with a list of those issues and make sure that they meet your mission. You know, they follow your mission, and then you start doing your strategies around those. Then there's integration. For each goal, there's a corresponding list of critical issues. So your goals, your critical issues that must be considered before you work on your strategies. You prioritize those critical issues and do your strategy. Remember that the strategies answer the question, how do you accomplish the goal? So anytime you're doing a strategy, does it help you accomplish the goal? If it doesn't, put it on the bottom of the list. Might come up later, but it's not important right now. If it doesn't help you accomplish your goal, it's not a good strategy. It's going to detract you. Question?
Yeah, it's kind of a question, but it's kind of talking things through. Like with the kids that are doing the performance in the production, my goal was to make sure that those kids got stipends,
Okay.
monetary stipends,
Okay.
so that they would be able to relate to working hard and,
Okay.
and, you know, for these
Making
past
money
3
for it.
months, then they have
Okay.
earned something, money in their hands that they
Okay.
can go out and do what they need to do, you know, with
Okay.
the money. So what I did, I made Christmas wreaths,
Okay.
and at the production, we're gonna sell those wreaths, and then the kids were talking last night that they're gonna bake brownies.
Okay.
So those are strategies for.
That's a strategy. That's 2
reaching
strategies
a
for
goal.
raising funds and pay the stipend.
Right.
What are some other strategies she might use? She's got a production going, she wants to raise money for it. What would
But we're
they-
not charging at the door.
Right, what would
I
you
mean,
do,
that's
what would they
just-
do at church to raise funds? What would the strategy be here? The bishop does all the time.
Collect donations.
Have an offering. Put a bucket out, you know, ask people, you know, the kids, did all this hard work. You know, we're not charging again, but we'd like to make a donation so we can further do these again in the future. If you really enjoyed it, you know, would you put a little offering in the bucket here? You know, if, you know, let us know how much you appreciate it. We'll take checks, money orders, food stamps, EBT cards, whatever you want, and you know, help further.
That's
after
not
donations.
always easy there, brother. I mean, for folks, I mean, it's not an easy thing to go. You'll end up not asking for one thing going out the door, just like you did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not
None of them
easy.
easy. That's
Some
why they call it a
people
business.
is, but I
If it
mean,
was
it's
easy, it wouldn't be a
need to
business.
go.
Yeah, if it was easy, it wouldn't be a
I mean,
business.
it's not
If you
so
organize,
simple.
if you got this poor kid that was just up there sweating on stage saying, you know, have the kids come out and do it, you know, we're trying to further, we got our next production coming up, you know, if you thought you enjoyed this production, you know, really like to help us out, you just give a little donation and have them, you know, standing up there by the crowd, walking through the aisleway, and you see how much money come in. They'll find the answer. You know, the parents is nobody else. You can ask the parents for help, a little stipend. The schools do it all the time. My grandkid want to play sports, it costs $100. You know, they got to pay for the uniform, they got to pay for the bus ride, they got to pay the coach. You know, and their mamas don't have it, so you know, who pays it? Can you help me out? You know, but yeah, you know. So you're helping them do some of these things. So there are ways to do it. You know, all of them. You know, you'll move beyond that. But right now, just to get some things done, that's a strategy. You know, and what you do is you put all those strategies down, and then you decide which ones you want to try and which ones you don't. You might have to sit down with the kids and do it. You know, bake sales and selling goods is always good. Other thing you can do is hot dogs. I had a friend in, my sister's friend in Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama. They're semi-millionaires. So what she did was she went and got a contract for all the concessions at all the high school football games. So hot dogs, chips, sodas, and ice cream, and racked up. You realize how many schools there are that have football games, and some of them 2 and 3 a night? Because the sophomores play, and the junior varsity play, and then the varsity play, and they run out of food. You know, they're millionaires now just doing that. So buy some hot dogs and serve. Don't let the health department know you're doing it. If you bring them in already wrapped up, put them in the microwave before you serve them, you can do it. You can't cook them on site necessarily.
Well,
Plus the school
yeah.
foods. But there are a
Actually,
lot of
the
different
parents
things.
she's selling tamales and salad and rolls.
Mhm. Yeah, so there are a lot of ways to make enough to pay for a stipend, so.
What you mean?
So just, you know, you gotta be creative, but those are your strategies. Those are things you come up with, you know, check with other people. Other thing, get your videographer to sell DVDs of them. You know, what's a DVD cost you to make, Gregory? Just roughly, ballpark, you don't have to tell us the real answer. we know it's only 50 cents for a DVD.
Yeah, it costs about 75 cents to $1.
Okay, so if you sell it for what, how much would you suggest you sell it for if you're doing it for the Christmas play? How much you think the parents would pay for a DVD of their kid in a nice little Christmas sleeve?
I'd pay if they told me $20. If they told me $20, I'd buy it for my kid. You know, they don't do those kinds of things all the time. You know, so I would say, yeah, I'd pay $20 anywhere.
Most ministries charge $20 for a DVD.
Yep.
My ministry, I only charge $8.
Yeah,
Because
so-
my thing, I want to get the word out. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about
No.
that. Our church
So-
has the means to.
So if you charge $10, you know, and then at the last minute, well, you know, if you got a few left, tell your parents they can buy it later for $5.
Right,
You know,
that's
week
still a
later.
500% profit.
Yeah, so, but you made a big profit, you know, you paid your videographer for it, you got stipend for the kids, you know, it's nice and easy, he's already gonna be there, and all you do is buy him the product. You need her to buy you the DVDs so you can record on them.
Mm-hmm.
So you buy a stack of DVDs, you can go to Fry's and get those for, you know, $10, and you're ready to go.
Ready.
But those are your strategies. That's why you sit around and think of strategies. It makes the stuff easier for you. You bring in a profit. You already got a business going here with us. I didn't even ask for 10% for advisory fee. I usually charge about $7,500 an hour for my consulting. You got all cheap. But that's what you do. You network with people. You talk about things that they would do. Now you probably going to do the same thing, huh?
Actually,
Do you
some of the things we've already done. Some
Get
of the
some
things.
photographs and put them in them cute little frames like those of us when we was in the world. And The guy come to the club and take your picture and
Yeah,
send you
right.
Oh, baby girl, come on, we gotta get this.
Right.
Give me them roses to go
Right.
with it too. You know?
That's how they do it.
You know, and that guy, what it cost him, $1 for a Polaroid?
Right.
You know, he can probably buy some of that old Polaroid film and have sitting off in the closet and refrigerator. He making bank off of it.
Right.
You know, so you can do those kind of
You
things.
guys gotta come December 14th at Florin High School, Black Box Theater, 7 p.m.
I used to perform there. I was in Universal Rhythm at Sheldon High School, and we used to perform at their Black Box Theater. And yeah, we did a few performances
Yeah,
there.
see?
Mhm.
So that's the way to do it. Get your flyer out so if you're ready.
Yeah,
Put that at
that's-
the bottom. You can buy DVDs so they can bring that change with you, cash only. Here.
One thing that I've learned as a learning entrepreneur is everything is really about timing also and
Mhm.
working ahead of schedule.
Yes.
And that's one thing that my church organization doesn't do. I'm not for sure how they are here, but I'm booked for the 15th. I've been booked for the 14th. Oh, okay. I've been booked for the 15th for the last 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
So one thing is you got to be working
Mm-hmm.
ahead of time. So just like the Olympics just ended last year,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
they
They're
are
planning for the
already
next
planning
three.
for 4
Yes,
years
that's
down the
true.
road. So
Uh-huh.
if you want to hit that 10% sales increase by so and so, you know, you got to start doing stuff yesterday to make sure that you're prepping to.
Right.
Yeah, see, that's where my board of directors come in because I can't do all that
Yeah.
by myself.
Yeah. And you might have a member for your board of directors.
Mm.
You didn't hear that from me. Okay, so we narrowed down your strategies. So now you've narrowed it down to top 3 strategies. Yeah, we gave you about 3 or 4, and a couple of them
That's
seem
per
to be
goal?
percolating to the top. Huh?
Is this all per goal?
Yeah, it's per goal. So now she's got 3 good strategy. Now, all this was just to do a stipend. It's not to pay for the uniforms and all this other stuff.
The facility.
To pay for the next facility and that stuff. This is just for the stipend for the kids. You know, you got some, right now, we talking about maybe a few $100 just off the food and the videos. So, not to mention other things you can add to the strategy. So you narrow it down to the top 3 that are gonna benefit you most. Put your effort into the ones that are gonna give you the biggest bang for the buck. You know, don't do the little ones that, you know, the feel-good stuff that you wanna throw in there. Save that for later and put it at the bottom of the list if you get time. Here's one way to assess your strategy. So can we, you know, do videos in a way, raise money in a way consistent with our mission and values? So the selling copies of the DVD detract from your mission. No, because it's kind of enhancing the show to kids, it's promoting them, they're gonna show it at Christmas when everybody come over. Other people will come to the next show next year. You know, you can make it bigger and better. Other people might want to get into the group, participate, so it doesn't. Does the project staff's capabilities? Do we have the ability to make DVDs based on our capabilities? You know, do you have a videographer? Can you find one? You know, staff time. Will making DVDs detract from the activities that are core to our mission? Well, no, because you're going to hire somebody. All you need to do is make a couple of calls, buy a stack of DVDs, and you're ready to go. So it doesn't distract from your mission. It doesn't take a lot of staff time to do it. A couple of phone calls or a referral from a videographer to another one. You're ready to go. Do you have the resources? Can you go out and buy the videos, the DVDs? You know, can you give him a down payment and ensure that he'll be there? You know, get you a little simple contract and write up so you can go to Judge Judy when they don't show up and disappoint you. And then that ancillary. Would this enhance our reputation by having the DVDs? Would that enhance your reputation, create opportunities? You might be able to get it put on public TV. You know, you can send them into public TV.
Yes.
Get them put on. You make sure at 11 o'clock at night, and as long as you tell the family if they're doing it, you know, oh look, Ray gonna be on tonight. We got to go watch. Come on, man, come over to the house, man. Come watch me when I was singing, man. I did it for Christmas.
They did that for us when we did our main stage at Sheldon. We did it in our Black Box Theater, and they recorded it. And then they showed it 3 different times, like on public access television. So 2 of them were like in the middle of the night, and then one of them was like a Sunday afternoon at like 3 o'clock. So we had all our family come over. Yeah, had all our family come over and then watch it. So it was really cool.
You're coming to the church, you know, you show it there for the good agent to show it next year, you know, show a little clip from it. Then you get more people to show up. That's the way to keep marketing and keep it going. Put that in your marketing plan. Remember this when we get the marketing plan. It's another way to get there.
I just like to proper ask this. One of my granddaughters is having a show today in cosmetology.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. So where are your flyers? You're not marketing it? Where are your flyers? You're not marketing it?
No, this is a show for their school.
Yeah, I'm saying you can
Oh,
see
you
have
should
flyers.
have
You
did
should be
that?
bringing flyers to the class here.
Oh, I
Sharon
see.
should too. So
They
we bringing little flyers. You got to make it up
That's
yourself.
the last minute.
Okay, some key questions because metrics is basically how do you know it's your strategy is working. You got to have some way to measure it. That's what metrics is. It's measuring. Then usually you do it by numbers, some quantifiable way. Not it could be quality too, quantity as well as quality. So that's kind of how you evaluate if it's good. Now, if you did all this with the DVDs and you sold 5, you gonna do it again next year?
Yeah. Oh, you mean just 5? I mean, I probably would be willing to try it.
What you gonna do something different?
Yeah.
Okay, that's your metrics. Okay, it's a good idea, but it didn't work as well as I thought, so I need to do something different. So you sit down and figure out what you can do differently.
To have a better response the next time.
Maybe do a survey with the parents and see what was wrong. Was there something wrong with the DVD? The lighting wasn't good, so they couldn't see their kids in it. It was poor quality. What do you need to make it better? You know, if it's a good idea, and everybody says, "Oh no, it's a good idea. It's just that this went wrong and that was bad." You know, it was too much. You know, I paid $5 for it, but 10, you know, kind of hurt me around Christmas time. So maybe you sell 5 and then you sell 10 times as many sales for $5. So, you know, that's where you do your metrics. It'll tell us if you're making progress and is the metric, is the results oriented or activity based. So, you know, when you set your metrics, is it how many you sold, or did you make the quality of money that you set? When you say you want to sell the DVDs to raise money, how much money do you plan on raising? Put that into your goal. How much money do you need to give every student what you need them to have? Turn my phone off.
Also, I think it's awesome because sometimes you don't know who's in the audience.
Right.
If it's well, there's an audience. It could be someone, could be anything. You never know who's out there.
Yep.
Because you know, the only Nike saw, we were just at a dance competition, not a competition, but it was down in Old Sac.
Yeah.
We thought it was no big deal. We didn't even win. We came in second. We didn't even win first place. She didn't even want the first place dancer.
Yep.
She came to me and was going to shove the card with the Nike Corporation. I was like, what?
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So you never know who's in
You
audience.
never know.
Even some of yours. You never know who's sitting out there. And the State Fair is another good place as far as exposure to different things, because people that look like average Joe with a straw hat and some sandals on will be the president of so and so and so.
Well, look at Shark Tank. One of the people is Mark Cuban, billionaire, owns the Dallas Mavericks. Sitting there looking at common people with their ideas and bidding on them.
He seems to be kind of the oddball when everybody else is like, no, I don't see it. He's like, well, wait a minute, you might be honest.
What he's doing. He's a billionaire.
Oh,
yeah.
So, obviously something going for him. So, but he made all his off computers and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, and then when you want to fine tune your action plan, you got all this information together. You're trying to tweak it a little bit. So here's some key questions: are the action plans or tactics essential to drive the strategies? You know, is it just something you threw in? Is it really necessary? All these action plans you came up with, getting a videographer, coming up with the DVDs, having somebody stand there and sell them, having the kids put little cutesy covers on them, that kind of stuff. Is that really essential? Or is that just something you want to just cut back and just have DVDs and sell them at a little table on the way out? Is the organization willing to discontinue the tactical projects that do not drive the strategy? If you did the DVD sales 2 years in a row and it didn't amount to anything, you're still going to push it, you're going to let it go. You got to make sure that you don't overcommit to it. It's just, I'll just keep doing this till I make some money. You keep going deeper in the hole. Are the resources available to complete the action plans? You know, can you find the DVDs? Is the price too much? You got to pay $100 for them? Or the videographer wants to charge you $200? It's like, do you really want to pay that and take a chance? By the time you pay him, you ain't got no money for the kids. And then will the action plans require this? Everybody made a confession? Okay. Okay. Was it easy? It was easy? You had something in you that you wanted to confess about? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why do we do confessions?
Mine turned more into a prayer.
Yeah, mine
Okay.
too.
Okay. That's fine. Sometimes we confess through prayer. Yeah. Sometimes we confess through prayer. Why do you do a confession?
From what I've learned is that if you speak it then it is.
Okay.
That's why if you confess, the Bible says if you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart.
Okay.
Like
Okay. Sister Sharon.
I believe it helps you hold true to who you say you are.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think
Yeah.
that would come to mind.
Yeah, a lot of people do it, and they want to kind of start over, kind of like a communion when you get to start over again. So you do a confession, and then sometimes repentance goes with that, and then you go ahead and you're ready to start anew. So with your confession in the first class, now you're ready to start anew. All that old stuff you were doing with your business and things you thought were taking you to a higher level in your business, now you've let your confession out the way. So now let's really get started. Just look at some kingdom principles, start putting those to work in your business, be thinking kingdom-minded as you go through it. A lot of times that manly and worldly stuff will get in there where you be wanting to do things, I could do that, I'll just lowball them. I'll go to their corner and sell drugs, and they'll shoot at you and that kind of stuff. Those things don't work because, there's things that you can do on your own that to set you apart from the others. And one of them is doing it by kingdom principles. So we're going to keep that in mind. But if you didn't do your confession, make sure you do a confession and look at it from time to time as we go through the class. Is it still applicable? We're going to work on our mission statement today. And one thing to say about a mission statement is that it changes as your business grows. It might change from year to year, just like your goals for your business, your objectives for your business. If your goal for this year is to get your business started and make $1 million, and you made $1 million in November, you still got that same goal next year? You want to set it higher. You got to come up with a new goal. You got to keep changing it, progressing it. So that's one of the things you have to keep doing is with your business. You're going to find yourself redoing things, rethinking things. And when we talk about time management, that's one of the things we're going to include in there is relooking at things that we do in our business and where it is, where we want to go with it. Any other questions about what you did? What did we have you do last week? Goals and objectives?
What is your goal?
Anybody want to share their goal? Well, you're laughing. Is it a laughable goal? It wasn't solid. You just threw something together?
Well, okay.
Okay, Sister Sharon.
One of my goals is to obtain a better marketing strategy because I have a very difficult time when I'm doing productions, like I got one coming up on Friday.
Okay.
Just getting it out there so that people know about it.
Yeah. And so you got a good product.
Yeah.
People are using it, but you need more people. You want to expand it. So you got to, one way to do that is increase your marketing, and then that'll help increase all the other things that go with it.
And then I need sponsors.
Then you need sponsors. That's another goal, get people to help fund you, the Shark Tank effect.
Right.
Trying to sell it. Once you get a marketing plan and a business plan, then you can go to people and talk about it because you'll already say, well, I've been doing this. I got this much coming in from the lessons I've been teaching the students. I've done this many concerts. So you got to establish business. So, that's like somebody who's got, twice the equity in their home that as opposed to the value of the home. Yeah, I'll refinance you.
I need the money.
Yeah.
So that I can pay people,
Right, right. So they know you're ready to move to the next level. One of the things in Shark Tank last night, one guy was up there and he wanted, what did he want? Like $10,000, which is actually too little to ask at Shark Tank. These are millionaires. So going up there to ask for $10,000, he could have went to Wells Fargo and did that. That would have been a better thing, and they wouldn't have ripped him apart like he did. But what did he have? He had the Bev buckle. We had a little slogan to go with it, but the belt buckle folds down. It's got a little clip on it. You put your drink in there while you at the fairgrounds or dancing or whatever. Probably for people to do more alcohol than anything else. So he had a soda pop can and that kind of stuff. But he had tried to sell it at fairgrounds. He tried to sell it at flea markets and that kind of stuff. So he didn't have a lot of income coming in. He made like $3,000 in 3 years. So you really want to put $10,000 in a company that's only making $3,000? You didn't have a marketing plan. You asked him, well, how do you plan to market it? Well, the main thing I'm here for is the company I had making them, they had about 25% of the product was defective, so I need a new company. Well, still you're going to have all these tons of products. Where are you going to sell it? How are you going to sell it? So you got to have a plan. So people, once you've got a plan and the goals, then people will buy into it, and they've got to be solid. So that's where we're going to go with this class, is trying to take you through those steps and get you to the next level. So welcome, Sister Rosa.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm blessed, thank you. And yourself?
Well, my granddaughter and I was on time last night.
It's okay. That's okay. We'll let you pray us out today and make up for it. Okay. We're just going over the homework. What we're going to do now is get into our lesson, because I know it's a little lengthy and we want to get through it. Also, Pastor Deborah asked if you women would be willing to come to the women's ministry today. They're having a brunch, so you're welcome to do that. If you got other commitments like work or whatever, we can understand. So she asked if we could get out a little early. That's why we're shooting for 10:30. And Greg, we're not welcome there. So we'll have a men's ministry next month, so you can come to that one. But we're going to try and work around that. And then Minister Hughes is going to do the class that we were supposed to do today. He's going to do that, but he didn't get the materials till like Wednesday of last week, and he wanted some more time to prepare. So that's why we switched the things around. So he will be here next week doing the presentation. And in January and February, I'm going to be gone for some sessions, so you'll be here. I'm going to ask Greg to set up the equipment for us, but you guys come in, make the instructors welcome. They're going to have a list of your names so they'll know who's naughty and nice. I'll put little notes next to it, Clarice. And let them know. Those you're from the church, help them get acquainted. Most of the instructors have been here before. Nobody's new to the facility, so they know where everything is, and they taught last year. So just make them welcome and help them through it. And then I'll ask Greg to put the equipment up when class is over, and he'll get some extra instructor points for that. So any questions about today's class? Everybody got their pre-work? You got your handouts in front of you? What we're going to do is try and kind of deepen your knowledge of why you have missions and value statements. If you look in the back of the room, Joseph Business School, you don't have to read it here, we're going to look at it later, but we put in the room, we've got a mission and a vision. And you want that always visible in your business, because people want to know why you're in business. Why is the Salvation Army in business? Why is the school district in business? To educate the kids, get them to a level where they can be ready for college or to go out on their own and be productive in society. But you've got a mission of why you're there. If you don't have a mission, then people don't know where you're going, and you don't have a way to guide yourself into what you're going to be doing. Also, is that clear, or is it me? Better. But you want to develop a company mission and a value statement. And we'll talk about how those fit together, because once you come up with the mission, that kind of leads you into your strategies, your values. What do you value? Why are you in business besides your mission? What do you value about that? If you're trying to do music for youth and get them into business, or you're working with youth groups, do you value youth? Do you value getting kids ready for adulthood? Do you value taking care of people who can't take care of themselves and helping them be productive, assisting them through life when they need assistance, things along that line. So what is your value? People want to know that too. That feeds into your mission statement. And then I want to talk to you about the goal setting process. How do you set your goals for your company that follow your mission? Because everything has to follow your mission. Here's some scriptures, and you've got these in your materials, but go back and read some of these later. Proverbs talks a lot about wisdom as you read Proverbs. 1:9, wisdom has built her house. She has prepared her meat, and mixed her wine. She also has set her table. Come and eat my food and drink the wine I have mixed. So wisdom, they're talking about it as a woman, as a lady, and she's preparing for you. She wants you to come and take part of wisdom. Be a part of it. Don't forsake it. You know, it's there for you. Come and eat and partake of it. So wisdom is there for you to take care. So what your mission statement is just a broad statement. When you start looking at some of these, it's going to just be like an overlaying umbrella of what you're about. So when people look at your mission statement, they can kind of get a feel for whether or not you meet what they're looking for. You know, you're the kind of company that they're looking for. Do you really do what they think you're supposed to be doing? You know, also talks a little bit about who you're serving. So a mission statement should have some of that in there. Who are you going to serve? What's your target audience? And what are you working on? And then what the company, why do you exist? What do you plan to do? What are you trying to achieve as a company? So those are some things that you have to have in your mission statement. And we're not talking about a mission paragraph, we're talking about a mission statement. So you notice as you look on there, the mission statement, usually a couple of those sentences put together that should cover all that. So when you're crafting your mission statement, you're going to have to make it succinct. So keep this in mind. You don't want to just drone on and on, because if it takes me 10 minutes to find out what you're about, what's going to happen? I don't put it down and want to go to the next company. So make sure you keep that in mind, because that's how people are going to find you and see what they want. You know, because once they find out that you listed yourself as AA Home Care, you know, you're going to be first on when they pull it up on the website. Then the next thing they're going to do is try and find out what you're about. So when you're looking up companies and all, this is usually what you look at, these kind of factors. Your mission statement, when you write a mission, yeah.
When I was doing a little bit of research on mission statements, some companies have very long, paragraph. I was going, and there's quite a few companies that I.
Was it clear what they're doing, what they're about?
I got lost in the shuffle. It was paragraphs. So
And typically that means they're trying to either do too much, or they're not clear about what their mission is. You know, even if you do a lot of things, all those should fit under a mission.
Okay.
You know, even though Kaiser has clinics, hospitals, does research, administration, you know, their mission is probably to take care of patients in the community and, you know, watch out for their health or something like that. You can look up those and it should be succinct. When you see a company, that's one of the real signs that a company is not sure about what they're doing or they're trying to do too much, is they don't have a clear mission statement. If you got to read it and they've got 5 or 6, like you say, paragraphs up there, they're not real clear, or they can't come to a consensus. Sometimes you try and do things by committee, and it's like they're trying to do with the federal budget. Too many people involved in it, so you can't come up with somebody wants to do this and somebody not going to do that. Somebody wants to do this, so then you just put them all together and you got a big mess next year that you got to clean up. Nothing fits. So you've got to make it clear and succinct. You want to try and keep it short and sweet. But that's one of the things you'll find when you got in there. It's like, I'm going to just skip that and I'll go to the next one, because that one's a little confusing. So the other thing you're going to find is that you want your mission well, let me go to the next one. One of the things you want to do when you write your mission statement, why do you write it? These are some reasons that you write it. You want to clearly define what your organization's purpose is. Why is your organization there? Why should I care? The first thing people see is that they want to find out, what are you doing? What are you all about? That's what they're looking for when they're looking at a company. Is this company right for me? So you should be able to look at your mission statement and find out, this is a company that's beneficial for me or that I'm looking for. Also, it should guide the actions of your organization. The mission statement is not only for people to see what you're about, but your company should be following your mission statement. If your thing is about teaching people and educating them in art, everything you do should be trying to make people educated in art and become better artists or better in the art industry somehow, and not doing things outside of it, not doing auto races and things that don't follow your mission. So a lot of times when you're going out and trying to do fundraising, you will go to companies, particularly when you're writing a grant, you'll see a grant, and people do this all the time. The grants for healthcare for youth, and you've got a youth organization, so you're going to write your grant to do some health thing, a health fair for youth. But that's not your mission. You know, you're not trying to do health for kids. You're trying to do art type stuff with the kids, you know, dancing, those kind of things for your kids. So it doesn't really fit. You know, you're just going after money. So that's a lot of times when we're reviewing grants, we kick them out because you're not following your mission. So you want to make sure that you use your mission to guide you as an organization. Also, it helps you prioritize your opportunities with your available resources. So you got a certain amount of resources when you start a company, and an opportunity comes up, or like a grant. So do you spend a lot of time writing a grant for something that's not close to your mission just so you can get the money? Or do you save that and wait till you find something that fits what you're doing? Maybe it's better for you to do a fundraiser and earn some money than it is for you to go after money, put a lot of energy in getting people together to write a grant to go in a different direction, which gets you away from your mission. Also, it helps you focus your efforts. You know, everything you do should be related to your mission. So as you as the CEO, and hang on a minute, I'm gonna grab me some water. But everything you do in your company should be related to your mission. So when your employees come up to you and say, hey, we want to do so-and-so, we want to do a crafts fair or something. Well, does that fit in the mission of your organization? Probably not. You know, it might be a good, feel-good thing to do, but it doesn't really fit into what you're doing. From what I read about you in your application, that's not exactly what you're doing with your youth group. So you start talking about a crafts fair, that gets you out of your focus. And what you want to do is stay in your focus. Yeah, that'd be like Sister Sharon trying to do a crafts fair. She'd probably be better doing benefits and, you know, music of plays and whatever you're doing, as opposed to doing a crafts fair, because that's more following her mission and her vision. One other thing we want about a mission statement is to write it down. And this goes back to Habakkuk 2:2, you know. They say write the vision and make it plain, and put it on the tablet so he can go with it. So what you're doing is trying to put it down in writing. What's the benefit of putting it in writing? Mm-hmm. Who is it a reminder for? Who sees it when it's in writing? Okay, you see it. Who else might see it? Potential visitors. What about your employees? They get to see it. Kind of keeps them grounded. That's why we put it on the wall. When you come in here and go to school and go to the classes, you know, we got the vision and the mission right there on the wall. So when you come in, well, I think Joseph Business School ought to be doing this and that. And, you know, we really ought to be adding some auto mechanics to this and stuff, because I got an auto shop I want to do. And, you know, if we talk about, you know, bring somebody in to talk about building cars and, you know, how to run Jiffy Lube over here, I think that would benefit me. That's not the mission. Ours is to run all businesses, you know, how to do an umbrella type thing. So we'll use our mission statement to kind of keep us focused and on track. And where do we want to go? So we're making right in the vision, we're making it plain. We can always point to the thing that, okay, look at our mission statement. That's not what we do here. So you always write it down and make it plain. You can refer to it. You put it in your marketing plan. You put it in your business plan so everybody sees it. Put it on the wall. When you walk in your office, you got your vision there. Or you put it on your brochures and stuff when you send it out. This is the vision of Joe Johnson Incorporated. You know, this is what we're all about. So every time you do something, people know that, oh yeah, I'm going to call him because this is what he does. You know, he fits right in with what we're looking for. So you want to keep that plain for everybody and be proud of it. And if it's not clear to you, it's not going to be clear to the other people that are looking at it. So that's another reason you want it to be nice and clear. You also want to use the elements of a business plan to do these things. It makes it clear what the purpose of your business is. Why are you in existence? Why are you there? You know, a lot of times we forget why we're there. It turns into we're there because we want to make money. And you forget about what your mission is, what you're trying to do. Can you make money while you're doing things to benefit others?
Yes.
Can you make money while you're developing and building things? So if your mission is to develop and build things or do something for others or bring people to Christ, you know, you can still make money while you're doing that, but that's not your mission. You know, the money is the side thing. If you run the business efficiently, you'll be able to make money while you're doing it. But your whole purpose is to stick with your mission. So one of the things that you want to do is articulate the purpose of your business. Why are you there? What are you doing with this? What does your business do? You know, that separates it from what it doesn't do. If you can list one or two things, 2 or 3 things that your business does in your vision statement, and you don't have to use a paragraph for each thing that you do. You know, just do it succinctly. Vision statement doesn't go into detail. You get the detail later when you get into your marketing plan and your business plan. That's when you get 10 pages of detail. Your business plan can be 50 pages. Your mission statement just gives bullets and highlights on what you do. You know, what is your business all about? Do you do car washes? Do you do music? You know, do you do healthcare? You know, do you do car washes? Do you do consulting? You know, what do you do? Why would I be interested in you? Why shouldn't I be interested in you for what I'm looking for? If I'm looking for somebody to teach me horseback riding, then I could look at your vision statements and find out you're probably not the businesses I need. I need to go look somewhere else. So that's one thing you can do with your mission statement. Also, it conveys your values and principles that guide your business relationships. And you'll see from some of the examples we talk about later that they've got values in there. You know, what do you value? What's important to you as a business? You know, I value raising kids to be Christian-minded, fair, fully educated, you know, things like this. You know, I want to help elderly people have a productive life, you know, throughout their years, you know, live comfortably, you know, have assisted living, you know, to meet their needs for activities of daily living. You know, I want to have a media company that's Christian-minded, you know, top of the line equipment, production, you know. So you've got the, you know, words in there that highlight those things for you. So these are some of the things you want to put in your, you know, convey in your mission statement. What are you really about? What are some of the principles and things that guide you? You know, about your business relationships. The other thing we talk about with mission statement are some of these points, because now you talked, Deborah, about mission statement that was a page long, had what, 4 or 5 paragraphs to it. You know, you got tired of reading after the 3rd paragraph trying to figure out what their mission is. So what they didn't do, they weren't simplistic. You want it to be simple, you know, so you can just read it. A couple of minutes of reading it, you know what the business is about. Does it motivate you? You know, can you put something in there that makes that person, ooh, yeah, you know, let me read some more. This sounds like a good company, so you know, this is something I want to be a part of. You know, we want to use their business. Does it motivate you? Or is it just something boring and dull, you know? Rosa?
I learned that at the Career Center just a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from the day up, you know, we was always writing a lot of stuff.
Right.
But they told me that there.
Yeah, you got to be motivational, you know. And when you write things, you know, make it so people want to read it. You know, don't just write dull and sound like an attorney or a business person. You ever read something legal? Most boring thing in the world. You know, it's exact because it's legal, because it's got to say certain things, but it doesn't motivate you. You know, so you got to have something that's motivational. You know, I really want to look at this. You know, where you take it to somebody and say, this is what my business is about. Oh, tell me more. You know, what is it? When the ladies went on Shark Tank last night, and they talked about the bed bug catcher that they had. It doesn't kill them all, but it lets you know if you put it in the bed and you come back the next day, it shows bed bugs have come on there, and you know, I want another hotel room. Or you put it in before you go to bed that night. You check in at 3 o'clock, you come back at 5, it's got bed bugs, I want another room. You know, and that's what it's for. But when they start describing it, everybody's saying, well, tell me more about it. How does this work? Did you develop it? Give me a kit, let me see. And oh, here's the little test kits. They give them all the little test kits that they sell, you know. You know, businesses can buy a big pack so they can put it in all their rooms and find out which ones they've got and what they need to disinfect. But they made it interesting, you know, and they just came up with a couple of statements, and in a few minutes they had the group motivated. Got a $250,000 investment just on that mission statement, and then going into they wanted to find more about it. One guy gave his mission statement and like, nah, I'm out. I don't want to be part of it because, you know, it wasn't motivational, wasn't inspiring. You know, what do you do when you inspire people? Yeah, get them uplifted. Man, I wish I had thought of that. Man, I got to be part of this. How far have you gone? You know, you need some investors. I'm inspired. Ooh, I want to be part of that. Yeah, where are your plays at? You know, Sister Sharon, where do you guys perform? I want to come see some of your performances. That sounds good. I want to get my kids involved. I got grandkids. How do you take boys and girls? What's the age limit? I got a 19-year-old knucklehead that needs it. Do you take them that old? You know. So, you know, I'm inspired now. I find something to do with these kids. And then it's actionable. What does actionable mean? Nah, not really. You're on the right track, though. Close. Yeah. Greg, Brother Greg.
It's like what we see on a regular basis when you watch commercials. What is the action that you want the people to take? What are the actions that you will take? What actions are you giving?
Yeah, people want to do something when they see it. They want to read more. You know, you read the Mission and Joseph Bishop statement. I want to read the rest of the webpage and see what kind of classes they got. Do they have one in my area? I want to take action now. You know, does the mission statement push you to do that? Do you really want to take action on it now? Or is it just saying, you know, nah, this ain't my cup of tea. Or, ooh, this too long and boring. I'm not even going to read it. I don't even know what the business is about. But, you know, it's something you make it actionable. And is it radiant? What does it mean by radiant? It kind of results, you know, it's you know, it's
kind of like your moat. It's what sets you apart.
Yeah, kind of sets you apart. So you're using that moat word, Brother Fullwood. But yeah, it kind of, you know, is it radiant? Does it kind of inspire you? Does it kind of glow when you look at it? You know, you look at it and say, ooh, wow, yeah, that's something. This company, let me check this company out. You know, now I want to be actionable, but it's also, you know, inspired me. You know, it kind of lights me up, wants to do something with it. So what you're really trying to do is just get in there and remember some of these points when you're putting your plan together, when you're putting your mission statement together. And it doesn't happen the first time you do it. You got to write 2 or 3 of them and throw them away. And your first one is not going to look like anything like the one you settle on at the end. Because as you work your way through it, you're going to say, well, maybe this should be added. Oh, I listened to Deborah's, and I think I'm going to add a couple of words that she had in there. So, Brother Greg.
What happens when you get to a point where you don't believe in yourself? When you don't believe in it, when you can't see it. I've had some ideas to do something, to put videos on the internet, and I'm saying, why would people pay me to do that when it's just so easy to do? Because I know how to do it. Why would somebody pay me to do it when they could just do it themselves? So what do you do when you're writing your mission statements and you're seeing your words come together, and it's just like, I don't know if this is really going to work.
What do you guys think? Yeah, Sister Sharon.
I've been in that situation before. It's faith, you know, that God has given me this organization. And if God has given me this organization, then He's going to provide for me to continue it, because I constantly have that. Even right now, I have a production that's coming in December 14th, and I'm like, I see it, but I don't see it all. And there are pieces to it that needs to be put together, and this production is coming December 14th. I'm like,
Yeah.
I get to a point to where I get frustrated because I can't see what I feel I need to see. And I just ask God to help me see it His way, because I don't see it, and it's like I need to quit because I don't have even like a videographer. I don't have a videographer, and this production needs a videographer. I don't have
You do now.
the marketing. This needs to go out. There's not going to be anybody there because I haven't put out the advertisement. I need graphics. You know, I mean, it's just so much to just say, why am I doing this? And then, and this is the flush part of me. I look at somebody else's and go, they got everything, and I have nothing. And it's like, I need to stop. I mean, I really need to stop this.
How can you compete? How can I compete with
Well,
the small stuff that I have when you look at other people like,
But two things. One is faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. So you just got to keep plugging away with it. You had a good idea, and by faith you walk in it and keep doing the things you know you need to do to make it happen. Secondly, how many dumb ideas have you seen that people pay millions of dollars for? A pet rock, multi-millionaire.
Yep.
Anybody ever seen, huh?
They pay $3 or $4 for a rock.
Yeah. And all they did was spray some lacquer on it. Spray some lacquer on it and put it in a box. Sell it for you for $3 or $4. Anybody seen, go ahead, Sister Rosa.
Well, when I was younger, I worked for the people that made the J.D. Valentine, Big Beer, Baraka, and all that stuff. And what happened, one day she asked me, say, well, you know, how much would you need, Rosa? And at that time, I said $100, because that was a lot of money right then. And she said, you know, it still won't be enough, because I got a kid that's a disability from birth, and it'll always be. She was a multi-millionaire, but she was so unhappy with this job. That was disabled.
Sometimes money and everything. The other thing is just basically take your idea and run with it. You know, if it's a good idea and you flushed it out, you know, even if it's a lot of stuff that we do now is a crazy idea. Who would have thought of buying a car where the doors open up this way? If those cars sold for more money, you know, they're still looking for DeLoreans. The Corvette Club comes here and their doors open up like this. And everybody goes around and marvels at those cars. You know, they pay a few extra $1,000s to get the doors open up stupid. You know, but everybody, they could sell that car for a ton.
I think it's, when you're at that stage, it's going to take some prayer that God will give you the vision so that you can make it plain.
Yes.
It's just a matter of prayer. And the idea that why would someone pay you for your idea? It's going to depend on your marketing. If you don't believe in it, nobody else is going to believe you. You
Right.
Be at that stage where you believe what you have is worth the money. If you don't believe it, ain't nobody going to pay you to do it. But you've got to ask for that inward witness to you as to what is this? Am I on the right path? Because it sounds to me like you don't believe that you're on the right path right now. So you've got to believe in what it is that you're trying to do. Because if you don't, nobody will.
And if you,
everybody else out there that's got a job, an invention, only they got it because they believe that it was worth something.
Right.
People like a pet rock. Who would ever thought somebody would go around and spend $1 on a rock when they've got millions of dollars in their backyard? I mean,
Thank you.
A lot of these inventions that are out there right now, they are stupid inventions, but they sold it because they believed in it.
And they had a marketing plan they put together for it.
They
you know.
If you don't believe it,
you got to believe in it.
I've been there and done that. I had an online business because I couldn't convince myself that it was worth it. It didn't work. The products were there. Easily accessible for me, but I didn't believe in myself that I could do it. You've got to believe that what it is that you're doing is doable. If you don't believe it, you won't make it happen.
but you take that belief in your faith and you put the skills that you learn in this class so that you can do a good marketing plan. You know, people sell dirt. You can get dirt free if you go to the right lot. But we go down here to Joe's Rock and Supply and buy truckloads of it and have it brought to our house. And it's just like the dirt we got in our yard, and we dump it in our yard. But you buy dirt. Whoever thought you'd buy dirt? You know, you can compost it in your backyard, put garbage and stuff in that can and turn it every week. And you got the same dirt they're selling you for $100 for a truckload, and you got it in your yard for free. But we buy dirt because people have told us we buy dirt. You know, we pay for texting. Texting doesn't cost the phone company a dime. Doesn't cost the cell phone companies don't pay a dime for it. That's their money leader. They make all their money on charging you for. That's why all of a sudden now they're starting. We're going to give you free text time, but we're going to charge you for internet and for emailing and stuff, because the texting is free. They already made their millions of dollars off of that. That's what keeps the company going. You know, that's why they can lower the price and give you a free phone and stuff, because you're paying for something that's free for them. But they sell it to you because you think, well, I got to pay for texting. You know, but you got people believing and buying it. You know, we can do phone calls on our computers, but we still got cell phones. We don't just get on the computer and dial in and stuff. We pay extra for, you know, extra couple of $100 a month or $50 a month, whatever you pay for your phone service, for a phone where you could just get on your laptop and turn the camera on and say, hey, Sharon, how you doing? I'm over here at the class. You know, you going to make it in today? And you could do that FaceTime. It's what you make people believe and how you market it and how you put it together. You know, if you got a good vision statement, a good marketing plan, a good business plan, people would buy into it. So you always got to believe in yourself. If God gave you the idea, he gave it to you for a reason. If you throw it away, then that's your opportunity lost. You know how many times you come up with a bad idea and after you woke up the next morning, oh, that was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. I don't even know why I did that. That was the stupidest thing in the world. But if you woke up and it didn't tell you that, then you probably need to follow through with it.
Did we answer Sister Sharon's question? She said something about.
Oh, putting her production together?
Oh, no, I was just telling him, I
Yeah.
like really can relate.
But you're still going with it.
Yeah.
You're still pushing ahead. You know, it's not your first production. You're doing everything you need. You know you need marketing. You know you need videographers. You know you need to tell people word of mouth or whatever to get people out there. You know you need to put some flyers in the church lobby so people will show up. You know you need to put a couple of flyers around the schools and tell some of the students here to put some up at their school. Tell people to take it to work and lay it on the lunch counter. You know, but you know what things you need to do. It's just about going and doing it. So and a lot of that stuff don't cost you a dime. You know, if it works, you know, you're doing good. If it doesn't work, you haven't lost anything.
Well, that's I know that, you know,
Yep.
when I go through these periods and I do all of a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I can't, because I'm going on faith, I can't see.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I can't see,
yeah.
although I have productions that I've done in the past, and I can see how that's turned out. And I think that's what keeps me coming. And then the kids,
Yeah.
you know, when they're really working at their lines and, you know, doing what they're supposed to do, and the parents are supporting the kids,
Yeah.
that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
So,
And I was going to say a lot of it that we work through, because, you know, you've got the experience, you've done it before, but a lot of that, we use that process to kind of walk through what steps do we need to complete. Because you've done this before. You can do this in your sleep. You know, I've taught classes before. I can just get a curriculum, read it over, and probably go through and do 90% of what somebody trained in that particular topic could do, because I know the process of doing it and how to research and what to do, even though I'm not a specialist in that field. But because you've done it before, a lot of times we go through and, okay, do I have enough information on mission? You know, do I really have that exercise down pat? Or am I going to fumble through the exercise when I break them into groups and have them work on this? So you kind of keep putting that self-doubt, but actually what you're doing is walking yourself through the steps of things you need to know you need to do for completion. So a lot of times we think of it as self-doubt and lack of confidence, but actually we're telling ourselves, okay, let me make sure I've done this step. Oh, I haven't done that step, so I need to do it. So you're going to do those things before it gets to the 14th. But, you know, you need those things, you know they need to be done. So a lot of times don't mistake what you're doing as doubt. A lot of times it's that experience coming through saying, remember, did you do this? Have you finished with that? Have you told enough people? Have you done this? Have you done that? So roll with it. You know, if it comes to your mind, did it come to your mind more than once to do it? You keep talking to you and saying, do this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then you probably should do it. Come to your mind one time, you talk yourself out of it, maybe leave it alone for a while until it comes back. If it's been in your mind and it keeps talking to you and telling you to do it, then you should do it. Has God ever spoken to you? Okay, you know his voice? Okay. Was it his voice that was telling you to do it? Okay, give it some thought. Make sure it's clear whose voice you're listening to, too. Has the devil talked to you before? You know his voice for sure, huh? Oh, man, go on to the party. Go ahead. You know, you don't have to go to church tomorrow. Come on now. Oh, she cute. You know, go on over her house, man. So you know the devil's voice, so be careful. Know who you're listening to.
I know my flesh voice.
Okay, yeah. That worldly voice, yeah. Okay, so you know the difference. So just make sure you know the difference. So, did we answer that, Cole? You?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was just a general question.
Okay. No, that's what we're here for, though.
I think we all come across that.
We do.
You know, people doing it.
You know.
Should I be doing it?
And those are the same people that next year say, "Man, I had that idea. I should have went with it." You know. Now I'm going to his company now to do it. He's on this. Got the same thing I was talking about. I was going to put that same thing on the internet. He's doing it now. Look how much we're charging for it. So you got to just make sure that you go with it. Somebody else had that same silly idea, but they just take the next step, that leap of faith. Okay. Now your value statement. This is also part of your mission. You got to have some values in there. We talked about values a little bit earlier in the slides. But it may be separate, or you can incorporate it in your mission statement. If your mission statement is getting long, then you might want to have a separate sentence for your value statement.
Is the values also same as your vision?
Value could be, it enhance your vision statement. This is what I'm about, and these are the values that I use.
So you have a mission, a value, and a vision?
Yeah. All those can be incorporated into one, depends on how long it is, or you can separate them. It depends on your statement, how long it is, and you'll see as we go through this. So you can put it inside your mission statement, it'll be incorporated, or if your mission statement is getting lengthy, like Deborah was saying, they had 3 or 4 paragraphs trying to describe the mission statement, you may want to separate it out. Here's our mission, and this is what we value. We value family. We value, God. Who is that? Chick-fil-A. What's their value? What are their values? What separates them apart? What are the thing you always hear about Chick-fil-A? They're Christian values. Are they open on Sunday? Are they open on Christmas? Chick-fil-A, the chicken place. They sell the chicken strips and stuff right down here on Bond Avenue. But they're against. They're mostly from the South. They just come up here. But one of the things he did, he openly spoke up about gay marriage. He was against it. His company is a Christian company. It closed on Sunday so his people can go to church. You go by Chick-fil-A, you better go Saturday because you're not going to be able to buy any on Sunday. And he professes those values and he sticks with it. What's another company that's got some Christian values?
The burger place we talked about last week.
In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out.
Look in how can you tell they're Christian?
Well, they hide it underneath their cups.
Yeah. Look on the bottom of any In-N-Out Burger cup. It's a scripture on the bottom. Every cup's got a scripture on the bottom. Yeah, they might still have it in their fries, but they always got a scripture on their food. Bottom of the cup always got a scripture. And the cup is a good place. Why is the cup a good place for the scripture when you leave a place? When you leave a hamburger place, what do you do before you leave? You get a refill and you take it with you. So you got the scripture. They know it's an In-N-Out cup. It's got the palm trees on the top of the cup and the scripture on the bottom. You're taking the scripture with them, so God is going with you. So that's one of their values, Christian values. So that's when that's why your value statement is in there. Somewhere you've got your values. Or if you could look up Chick-fil-A on the internet, you'd probably see and look up their mission statement. Probably one of their values is going to say something about, Christianity. Also, you have to have what principles guide you and your staff? Kingdom principles. Monetary principles. And if you're doing something like sales or you're seeing your customers face to face, you might want to have a statement in there about you and your staff. So when people come in, 7-Eleven might be a good place for that. You ever go into a 7-Eleven, you get bad service, or the clerk is I won't say the word because I'm in church, but somebody that you never want to deal with again or could have given you much better service. So maybe they need to have principles about them and their staff. One of our principles is to see that all of our clients leave here satisfied, that we give the utmost service. We treat everybody like a family member. Maybe not a family member, depending on the family. But, with the utmost care and as an individual. So you might want to include that in there, particularly if you're dealing with families, youth, things like that. What are your principles for how you deal with people, and what do you expect your staff to do? Why would you put a principle in there for you and your staff? So you be on the same page. So when you come in and bring in your staff in because you've got to chastise them because they did something wrong, you can say, one of our company principles is this, and you're not following it. I expect you from now on to follow the principles of this company when you deal with our customers.
So then it's important that you clear on what your principles are.
Yeah. Right.
Not following you because they don't know what your principles are.
Right. Right. So that might be a way that you put them into your vision statement or your mission statement, so that they can see what your values are. They know when they get hired onto the company, here's our vision statement, and these are our mission statement rather, and these are our values. Sure.
There's a program on Oprah that's Undercover Boss.
Yeah.
It's a real good one where the owners of the company come and disguise themselves as workers.
Yep.
And to see if some of their values are being utilized throughout.
Yep. And they usually find that 1 or 2 employees that they really reward because they're showing the company values, Even though they're broke as all get up, they've been working for the company and doing their best, and working 2 or 3 jobs just so they can stick with the company, and they end up getting rewarded for it.
And I have to mention my husband. He really values what he does, and so they've asked him to apply for a lead position, and he said that he would apply for it, but he told the guy, I want your position, I want to become management.
I heard that.
So
and he might get it. He might get a management position if they like his values.
he shows the value.
Yep.
He'll fix things like if something breaks down,
Mm-hmm.
he can go and fix it, even though it's not his job, but
Yeah.
he can go and fix it.
Yep. Yeah, good company person. So so he's got good values, and people that work around him see that in him. His co-workers as well as his boss, evidently. So those are some good. So those are some good values, and everybody will love him for that. Also, it may impact the person's decision to work with you and for you. If it's a good company that believes in Christian principles, you may be more likely to work with it since we're all Christians. If you find that the person that owns a nightclub and they believe in strip clubs and that kind of stuff, and maybe the Playboy Mansion or something, it might not be the place you want Bishop to know that you're working for. So that'll be the time you get caught in that one picture with the guy and one of the models of the year, and you become the subject of a sermon. So it might impact your decision to work for them if you know what their principles are, what they're all about. And then there's the how. So this is when you want to bring out just the source and you start looking at words, phrases, attributes that identify you. What's an attribute? Characteristic. Well, something that people ascribe to you. Somebody, okay, he's always friendly. That's an attribute of so-and-so, Brother Fullwood. He's always friendly. Always come up and shake your hand. We got another deacon here. One of his attributes is he always, hello, my name is Andre. I don't know your name, but I'm going to remember your name the third time I see you. And sure enough, Andre come up to you every time, give you a hug. How you doing, Sister Clarice? How you doing today? And that's one of his attributes. You know, Andre will not forget your name. Me, I remember your face, but you're in my class, huh? You know, how you doing, sister? You know, you'll be sister for about 6 months till I remember you, get you in the class. But I remember you. You know, I remember where you sit in church. You know, I remember that's your daughter with the braids or whatever. You know, I remember that you work for a certain company. But everybody's got their different attributes. And that identifies you and how you desire your customers to experience your business. You know, you want to have a good experience. You want to experience it like they've been at home. You know, when you eat the food, it's like you ate your mama's food. You know, different places have different things that they want, you know, how they want their customers to do. You go to a restaurant, you know, Mimi's, you know, you go there and, you know, you got the home cook, some home style cooking and stuff, you know, they want to treat you a certain way, things like that. You know, Cracker Barrel back in the South, you know, you go there and they got the big plates of food, the grits like your mama used to make. Your 2 types of ham, you know, maybe your mama made the salty ham, or maybe she made the sweet ham. You know, so you got different things that you can use that, you know, give you a good customer experience. So, you know, do you have choices? You know, do you have it home style, or do you just have it your way, one way? You know, it depends on your business and what you're doing. You know, one of your attributes is I treat your kids like they were my own kids. You know, make the family okay. I trust her. Because, you know, my kids come back home and they, oh, you know, Sister Sharon this, and oh, it's her birthday tomorrow. I got to get her this. And Sister Deborah, oh, Mama, she is so good. Invite her over for my birthday party. You know, I want her to come over too. You know, let me get her a Christmas gift. You know, you're treating them like family because that's one of the attributes. She's like a family member to you. That's an attribute, you know, depending on what you're doing. Here's some examples of biblical scriptures. So Proverbs 12:22 talks about honesty. Anybody got a Bible with them? You want to pull it up on your computer? Let's look at a couple of them. If you know it by heart, any of them by heart, you can speak up on them. Come on, Sister Rose, I know you know a couple of them by heart. Just call it out and say what it is.
You mean explain it?
Yeah, what the scripture is. Which scripture do you want to talk about? Oh, that's okay. Anybody else? You got a scripture up here you know? You want to tell us about it? Most of them are Proverbs.
Well, I don't think it's up there, but it is, like, I think it's Proverbs, I'm not sure, but it's like, trust in the Lord with all our heart, acknowledge him in all our heart.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, that's a real good one. A lot of people who go into business, we always ask you for scripture that you follow and believe in your business and your work. And that's always a good one. That's one of the most cited ones.
So Proverbs 12 and 22 on honesty.
Okay.
The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy. Diligence, Proverbs 10 and 4. States, lazy hands make for poverty, diligent hands brings wealth. You know, I'm going to actually change on our homework assignment that was due today. I'm going to actually change my scripture to that one.
Good, good.
Because I have found that the not only the uncertainty comes sometimes that comes in because of what I see around me and how and some of the plan that I have created in my mind but not on paper and currently working on paper, and some of the things that you specifically said today, because you know that when you apply yourself, then things will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are scared for things to happen.
Yep.
So lazy hands make for poverty. If you know that you needed those stage directors, and if you know that if you're saying, well, ain't nobody gonna come, all takes was for you to just simply make up a little Word document and pass it out to the 300 members that come on a Sunday, and then go to another church on a Wednesday and pass it out there. So it's not going to happen if we don't do it. And for myself, I've been walking around with HD cameras, top of the line editing software, you know, all different kind of production equipment, but I haven't made any advertising. I stopped making my website. For 3 years, I didn't have a business card because I said I don't need a business card. I need word of mouth. And as I'm seeing other people whose services aren't all that great are doing business cards, and I was in the barber shop last night, and this guy came in and threw a flyer at me and said I do graphic production and videography. And it looked awesome. He had on the back of it, he had packages listed from a 25 one change and 25 shots in the disc, all the way to a premium package with, you know, 6 changes, 150 photos, makeup, hair, and all that kind of stuff. I'm saying to myself, I got it, but I'm not really applying myself.
Got to be diligent.
I'm not really out there.
Got to be diligent.
The last couple of years, well, I'm just preparing. I'm just ramping up. Ramping up. But when am I going to stop ramping?
Because I want to, because I'm going to ask you to do the video for our, but I'll talk to you.
Yeah, see? Got to hook up.
The thing of it is, I work for the school district in the after-school program, and I do a drama group, and I have 50 kids in that drama group. And I also do a piano group, and there probably be about 12 or 24. I don't have a videographer. You know, and I don't know what other needs the school might have for you into even training kids how to do that. I know my organization needs that. So getting it out there and just speaking like you're just speaking it in the room is like, okay, I need this guy.
I need one too.
And we only want 10% for the school now, but you're doing that today for free, so we even. Yep. Habakkuk. Habakkuk. Yeah, no, we're talking about this one. These, Habakkuk 2 and 2. Habakkuk 2 and 2. Habakkuk, one we just had, We just looked at that one, This one. Great. This one.
Oh, okay. That's under godly.
Yep. Also, Proverbs 13:11 talks about integrity. I moved it already. Let me see here. Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. So you got to work for it. You got to do. You got to be a doer. You know, you can't just sit there wanting it for you. You got to have wisdom. You got to be a doer. You got to be fair. You got to be kind. You know, we were talking earlier about that store you go to and you get bad service. You know, you go in there, you got the mean person yelling at you. On Saturday Night Live, you used to have the hamburger place. And, you know, want a hamburger? No, not hamburger, cheeseburger. You know, no this, no that. You only got it one way. You know, they got places like that. You go in, this is all you get. We don't do it this way. We don't put this on it. A lot of them in New York for some reason. But
I was in Philly one time.
You get that Philly cheeseburger this way, period, huh?
Yeah, they said you go to something, you say what you just, that's what they have.
Tell them what you want and get in line. Yep. Go to the next window, pay for it, and get your food. Huh? Yep. With or without. That's all you get. That's your choice. Yeah, a lot of places like that, you know, but that's the kind of place you want to be. You know, you want to give the kids some choices, you know. So just keep some of these scriptures in mind. You've got them in your handouts, so keep those in mind. The other thing that happens when you don't have a mission statement is that you get mission creep. What is mission creep? What's mission creep? What do you think mission creep is? You got a mission. Your mission says you do videography, Christian-minded videography.
Mission creep can mean that you got too many. You're creeping into. You're walking out of your line.
Okay. What kind of videography do you do?
I'm creeping.
See?
I'm creeping.
Yeah. What happens if you start off doing one thing? You know, you do music and performance art for youth. Okay, but then you get here and somebody says, well, you know, can you also do it for the church play with adults? Then all of a sudden, you know, can we do it? Can you do one for seniors at a nursing home? Now we want you to do one, but we want you to do one for this gay group downtown. So your mission is starting to creep from what you really do. You do youth, Christian youth, you know, in school for plays and dance, and now you're getting into other stuff that's not in your area. So your mission has crept away into something else.
So does that go back to being our flesh? Because I want to eat it up. Because it's not on paper. I want all the business. I want to make sure. I want to get myself out there. So I found myself thinking not out of the lines of things that aren't faith-based. I mean, I won't do music videos and craziest stuff going on. Or I've even had somebody say, "Can you shoot some inappropriate sexual scenes type stuff?" Yep. So I haven't think that far. But when you see so many options,
right. Well, you just got two offers right here, you know. So, but if you got a good mission statement, it keeps you from deviating away from what your mission really is, you know. Brother Fullwood, you do janitorial, but you do janitorial for a certain size business, you know, a certain way. Now, if he goes and sit down next to the Maloose one day and say, "Oh, you do janitorial? I need the Arco Arena cleaned up, you know, for Saturday." That's mission creep. You know, I give you $1 million if you can have it done Sunday. Now, he started getting about 10 of the deacons here at the church and about 4 or 5 kids and go out and rent a bunch of equipment. That's mission creep. That's not that's not what he does. You know, that's way out of his league.
So as an entrepreneur and business owner, is your I guess that would be listed in your vision and your goals would be to grow to that type of level. But just because someone presents you with that opportunity.
That would be in your goals, yeah.
When that you just ramped up to try to do that.
When you do your marketing plan, your market is a certain size business, a certain location, certain types of things you do.
And we will learn in this class.
You'll learn. You're going to go.
We should reach for it, or we have to define. We actually.
Yeah, you'll be defining that. You'll be defining that. Now your business can grow. As your business grows, like I was telling you earlier today, if your goal is to make $1 million next year, by December, and by September, October, you've made $1 million. Do you need to change your goal?
Yes. Say that again. If you what?
If you made $1 million by September, October, do you need to change your goal? You made $1 million. Now what do? You quit?
No.
So what do you do for next year? Another $1 million?
No, you said it for 2.
Yeah, you increase it. You increase. That's when you start growing. But, you know, before you grow, and you're going to find out through the class, as you grow, your resources need to grow. You know, if you get a bigger business, okay, now you're going to need bigger equipment. You're going to need more people that are trained to do it. You're going to need somebody to supervise that staff. You're going to need to hire staff. There's a whole lot of things that go with it. Once you got staff, you got to get insurance for them. You got to get a truck to take them out. You know, do you get one of those camera trucks like they got for KCRA that's, you know, live camera 3? Now, do you need a helicopter when you get bigger and bigger? You know, do you need one with cameras on it? You just get a guy hang out the window with his camera. You know, all these things you have to think of as you grow. Right now, you're getting 1 or 2 cameras and you're standing on stage doing some shooting. So you've got to look at those as you grow. So don't outgrow yourself. This is a real picture of, similar to a real picture from India. What they do is they steal electricity, so people just get wires and hook them up to the poles and run them down to the house. You'll see poles. These are street lights. It's not typical, but there you'll find telephone poles, and they'll have wires running down to people's toaster and on the street and all kind of places. A lot of people live on the street in India, so they got little tents or cardboard houses or whatever, live off the train tracks.
You can see that one light is showing green to walk, another light is showing red.
Mm-hmm.
And the light is showing slow down.
Yep.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. So that's what they're trying to tell you. It's all over the place. You don't want your business to be all over the place. You want to have a good mission. and where you go with it. You got to be mission-minded. It's another one from Proverbs. Hang on, come forward. Can you help him out? You need some chairs. She made it. He'll help you. Okay, this one's Proverbs. Take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. You can read it yourself. I'm not going to read it out for you. But pretty much what they do, what the ants do is they've got a mission and they stick to it. You know, you pour water on them, they go around the water and they come back. One comes in, all the rest of them show up. You know, they find something big, they'll see them carrying something. What are they carrying? You see something just going down the sidewalk, that's the ants carrying it back to their nest. But they're mission-minded. They got a mission, they stick to it. You know, you spray them and those will die. They'll come and take those carcasses back and get rid of them, and they'll go and the rest of them will come and prepare it. So yeah, they don't usually leave carcasses laying around for ants. You'll wipe them up in the house, but if you leave them outside, you watch, they'll disappear.
That's why, okay. I was wondering what happened. I was like,
Yeah.
did they get up and go somewhere?
No, they come and get they go and take them back, or they probably bury them or something. They take them back. They don't leave them laying around there dead. Sister Sharon, you had something?
Yeah, because, you know, this is, I'm looking at this, so that's saying, like, I need people that's gonna be on my team that have the same passion that I do about, first of all, children.
Right.
And youth, and then being able to look at,
Come on up. Yeah.
and then being able to, have them look at what is needed to keep that business running, and now I'm in the, process of, forming a board of directors.
Okay, good. And you want to,
Even after the board of directors,
Yeah.
we need people to buy into what
Right.
we're doing so that they can,
Right.
just like the ants, pick
Yep.
up that
Yeah.
pieces that.
And one of the things that people are going to ask you when you ask them to be on your board is, what's your mission? What do you do? You know, what are you trying to do this year? Who's your target group? What's your vision? You know, because they want to know what you're about before they sit on there and spend time advising you. You know, where are you going? Because, you know, a lot of that depends on, you know, the type of person. You know, I don't think I'm really suited for that, you know. I'm not a Christian, so, you know, I don't do that kind of thing. So, you know, you got to kind of keep that in mind. They want to know when you recruit them, and you want to know that when you're recruiting them, you know.
Deacon Joseph, are you a principal of a school?
No.
Oh, I just
No.
wanted to try.
No, I do emergency management training for the state. I train firefighters and police officers and emergency responders to go out and help people in earthquakes and get resources out for the fires and shelters for the floods and that kind of stuff, and track them, make sure they got the resources and things they need.
Is it a state organization?
Yeah, Homeland Security for the state of California. So we're a combined agency. I wish. No, the agency does. I don't. I got a cubicle. I got a cubicle. So, yeah, state doesn't believe in offices unless you're managers and above. So, yeah. Okay, now here's these are some mission statements. We talked about all the characteristics. Keep in mind what we talked about now. Now, Living Word Christian Center, they're the ones that started the Joseph Business School. So this is their mission statement. They want to empower believers through teaching, through preaching, and demonstration of the uncompromised Word of God to fulfill their highest calling and change this world through Jesus Christ. What you think? Is it inspiring? Radiant? Make you want to be part of the church? When you become a member, you know what they're going to do, what you want to do, what they're going to ask you to do? What they're going to ask you to do. They want you to go to your highest calling. So that doesn't sound like you're going to be a bench warmer, does it? You got a calling, you come to the church, they're probably going to ask you to be doing something in the church. So know that when you're going in. They just say they want you to come in, uncompromised Word of God. You know, they want you to come into His calling and change the world. You don't change the world by sitting on the pew saying amen and hallelujah. You change it by getting out there doing things. It's actionable. You want people that are going to be doing actions. So this is the kind of thing, you know, people might. Anybody been to Living Word Christian Center? Okay. They have a trainer for teachers every year. This one's coming up in March. So if you're interested and got a few $100s you want to spend, it's a good week there, and it's followed by one of their conferences. But they've got a whole shopping center that they use, and they own a couple of they have a couple of stores in there, as well as the church. Huge facility. So let me go back here a couple of pages. Is it simple, simplistic? Everybody can understand it pretty much. It's motivational, inspiring, actionable, because it's going to cause you to fulfill the highest calling, your highest calling, and change the world. So they're calling you to action. And it's radiant. It's got some that in it. So it's got a little bit of that in it. And it's short and sweet. What is one sentence, not a run-on sentence. And they talk about things that they do. Oops, we go back. You're going to be doing some teaching, but you're going to have to go to some classes and stuff. You know, probably some Bible reading in there. You're going to do some preaching. Does that mean Dr. Winston's going to be preaching to you and giving you the word, giving you some direction, might be doing some chastising, and they're going to do some demonstration. So they're going to be showing you how the uncompromised word of God gets involved. So he's going to show you how it's benefited other people, how it can benefit your life. You're going to get examples. So it's going to be real. It's going to be realized. And then you're going to fulfill your highest calling. So you may not have realized what your calling is. Some people come in, oh yeah, I'm a preacher. You know, I have my own church, but I come over here to be with you guys. So I want to start preaching. And you know, that might be his highest calling. Highest calling may be to do something else. You know, be a minister in some other area of the church. So they're going to help them fulfill their highest calling, change the world through Jesus Christ. That means you're going to be out there doing some things in the name of the church. So that's a good mission statement, good example.
That's located here, sir?
No, that's in Chicago. Was it Forest Park, Chicago? Dr. Winston comes here about once a year, so if you ever get a chance to see him when he's here bringing the word, and we'll let you know. He usually comes in once a year, and if he gets a chance, he speaks to the students. Yeah, we always try and get him or Dolores, who's the vice president of the school, here for graduation. So the elements of their mission statement, they had a purpose in their mission statement, right? Purpose is to empower believers. Okay. They had a target audience. Who was the target audience? Believers. You know, they didn't talk about heathens and people like that. They wanted believers. They might make you a believer, but that wasn't in the mission statement. They want to work with believers. You know, making you a believer is another phase. You know, getting you in to join the church and believe in Jesus Christ, give your soul to Christ, make that commitment. That's another level, but they're talking about teaching the believers. So they got a specific group. Were you able to help them? Okay, that they have methods. What methods were they going to use? Teaching, preaching, and demonstration. So they got three ways they were going to do it. So that's where they're going to, methods. What's their ultimate goal? To have people fulfill their highest calling. You know, who would pass that up? You know, everybody want to be better? Yeah, you know, particularly in God. You know, I know I've got a higher calling. You know, I know it's something that's missing. You know, if not, let me find out. You know, I might be at my highest level. Maybe I can help somebody else, which would be a higher calling for me, because then I'll be a teacher. You know, I'll be able to impart in somebody else's life. So that's the ultimate goal. What are some of the underlying values? What do you think are some of the values of the church?
Ensuring that everybody is operating on the same principles of faith.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That you're not being misleading or deceptive in your practice.
Yep. They also, one of the values is the uncompromised word of God. You know, so they're probably going to be talking through the Bible and biblical principles. You're going to be doing biblical stuff. They can empower you. That's another value. They think everybody can be empowered. And then how is it being realized?
Well, yeah, because they're gonna change the world.
Yeah. Yeah, through Jesus Christ, changing the world through Jesus Christ. So that's how it's being realized.
You've got all the different auxiliaries in the ministry that's focusing on the same thing.
Right, right. So every ministry auxiliary in the church is working from the same ministry, for the same mission statement. Everybody in the church, every deacon, every usher board, all the children's ministry, all of them, pastoral group, whatever, they're all using the same mission statement. So everybody's on the same page. So that's how, remember, we talked about getting your employees involved so that they know what the principles are, what they're getting involved with. When new members join, new members should hear and see this mission statement. You know, so they know that this is what we're going to be doing for you when you join this church. We're not getting bench warmers. We're getting people that are going to get involved. We're going to ask you to get involved in stuff and do stuff. Sister Rosa.
Johnson, this is one thing here about our churches. When people get older, they are glad to still have a part. But some of them understand the ministry of laymen. They want to go somewhere where that will be perfected, you know. I mean, after a day, a week, they want to know that they're accepted, but they have a position.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that even here, there's a lot of opportunity for us to mentor new members that come in. One of the things we've been talking about as deacons is matching up with new members as they come in so they can have a person they can always call on. When you first go somewhere and join a church, you stand out like a sore thumb to you. Other people accept you right away, but to you, man, I don't know nobody here. I know that one person that I came with to visit that time and she ain't here today. Everybody looking at me, especially when they say, do you want to join the church? I just joined, so I don't have to walk up there no more. And I'm not involved in any ministry. They keep asking me if I want to be in a ministry and stuff. So if you hook up with somebody, then you've got that person you can always call. And, I can always tell you, come on in. And you can sit over in my section and, come to one of our meetings. And Sister Sharon's doing something this week with the women's group. Why don't you go listen to her and meet some of the women? She can introduce you and stuff. She's real good. And you learn some of those things. Yeah, something deep?
Yeah. Attending this church, and one of the things that she observed is that the pastor and the wife and the daughter, every Sunday after church, out the door. They
is that right?
The time to shake anybody's hands and all that kind of stuff. She brought that to the pastor's attention. So now, rather than out the door, they're standing around and talking to people.
Talk to the people, yeah.
What she felt is that she wasn't important. That she didn't have value in the ministry.
Yep.
And you saying that about a lot of the mature people in the ministry, they weren't being utilized. They weren't being utilized for the giftings that they had.
Right.
They
right.
had the experience in life so they can work with the younger people and help them to succeed in various areas.
Right.
And that's what happens a lot of times, is that you forget that you've got experience in the ministry. Take advantage of that experience because they can mentor a young person. That's what you were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Finding someone that you can mentor because you've been through what they have to go through.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Because some of the young men come in and.
Through that all week.
Yeah.
And they want the church is supposed to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say. I guess.
Yeah. The church has made a difference in my
life. Yeah. That's what you want. That's why you come here to be inspired and. Make a difference, get uplifted, get that word in you, and you can go home feeling, better for yourself, start that new week off. Otherwise, you'd be sitting at home watching the 49ers beat up on somebody. Here's another mission statement. This is from the Joseph Business School. And what do you think of this? I'm going to read it again. To select, train, and teach believers who have been called to be entrepreneurs in the practical aspects of starting and running a business using biblical principles. Is that what you came here for? I see a couple of those. Did I? Is it simplistic? Simplicity? Short and sweet. You know, right to the point. They're looking for believers because you got to be able to teach you biblical principles. Motivational? Because you want to learn the practical aspects of starting and running a business. You know, some of you have a business, but you want to learn some, you know, how to run it a little bit better, you know, to take it up a notch. Always nice to move up. Is it inspiring? A lot of times people see this and, let me check out your school. I've shown it to some people and, you know, then they want to find the website, and, you know, how does the school run? What is it about? So I end up spending 30 minutes talking to them about it, what some of the opportunities are, and how to move to the next level. Is it actionable? Got some actions in there? Break into groups and have you guys work on some. This was Advocate Care is a health program, healthcare program, but their mission is Advocate Care, healthcare is to serve the health needs of individuals, families, and communities through a holistic philosophy rooted in our fundamental understanding of human beings as created in the image of God. So they're not Kaiser, huh?
So purpose?
What's their purpose?
Serve the health needs of individuals.
Families and communities, which means they're not only looking for you to come in so they can collect your copay and your insurance, they're going to work with your family who may not be members of Advocate Healthcare and your community because they are part of the community, so they want to give back to the community somehow, be involved. These would be the ones you'd invite to your health fairs. These are the ones you'd invite to help do breast screening at your church when you're doing a health fair. These are ones you'd ask for a donation, you know, to send the kids to camp, you know, send a nurse out to do flu shots at your church or your business or whatever, because they're community oriented. But you can tell that by looking at their vision plan, their mission statement. And when you say individuals and families, they don't take the individual and forget that there's a family that they're in. So I wouldn't go and tell Sister Rosa that you got to change your diet without maybe considering the family, that she's not the cook in the house and the daughter's cooking and she's doing her cooking from McDonald's every day. And so the Sister Rosa's got to eat McDonald's and can't cook the beans and the salads and stuff she needs. So.
Brother, please pray with me with that, because that is a problem in my situation.
So yeah, I spoke it into you, huh? So.
And I wish I could throw everything out the refrigerator and clean it out and just start from scratch.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. You'll get there. You'll get there.
So their methods employed is their methods employed to serve the health needs through a holistic philosophy.
Mm-hmm. No, it's holistic health. What's a holistic philosophy when you're talking about health?
It's everything. It's, you know, mind, body, soul, kind of like everything. So they're concerned about mental health. They're concerned about your regular physical health. It's everything. It's
not
the whole body.
Right, not just symptomatic. So you come in with I had this headache for a month. They don't look at just, well, take some medicine and give me a couple of aspirin for your headache. But why have you had the headache? Let's talk about what's going on in your environment. Anything else bothering you? You know, how about your back? You know, if you've fallen lately, is anybody beating on you? They're looking at the whole thing. Where do you live? You know, are you out in front of a place where they're shooting guns all night and you're not getting sleep? You having trouble on the job, you know, if you're separated from your spouse or your partner. You know, so they're looking at holistic stuff, which is a little different than when just going to a clinic and they're treating the symptoms. So that's a big difference. So it's a whole philosophy. And then they also understanding of human beings as being created in the image of God. So, you know, you don't get that when you go to UC Davis Health System or Kaiser. You know, you might get that physician who believes in that, but you're not going to find that necessarily in their vision statement. So this might be one, if you're a Christian, you might want to go there, because then, you know, they're thinking probably more godly ways of dealing with you. You know, they might start your thing by, you know, how much do you pray every day? You know, are you really a true believer? What church do you go to? You know, some things along that line. Might be somebody from your church who works there. You know, because they want to work for an organization that believes in God. Hmm?
Is that a company local to Sacramento?
Chicago. Most of these are Chicago companies. So. Advocate Health, yeah, looks familiar. Most of these are Chicago examples. So, do you have a mission statement for your company already? Okay. If you do, you know, your mission statement, you know, you need every strategic process used to define or redefine a mission should start with a blank slate. So if you already got a mission statement, disregard what it is and start thinking from scratch. Relook at your company, because you want to start with a blank slate. Re-examine it periodically. When you do develop one, re-examine it and see if it still fits what you're doing. Is your company still doing those things? Do you still believe in that? You know, if things change, what do you want to achieve by operating your business? You know, what is your mission? What are you trying, what is your company really trying to do? So you got to kind of look at those things. Because what you don't want to do is have a mission statement and you're not doing any of that. Right. You know, Joseph Business School, we don't want to be the place that's, you know, just training everybody and we're not using godly principles. We're in here talking about how you can beat the system and, you know, how to beat the stock market and, you know, how to lie on your income taxes and don't do these things. We don't start in with prayer. You know, we got a bunch of folks who aren't believers in here who, you know, come on, talk to me later. I can hook you up with some cheap product. You know, those aren't the things we're trying to do in here. We're trying to do it godly principles, because when you get it the right way, it benefits you. Here are just a couple other things. When you develop your company's mission, you got to look at, why does your company exist? You know, why are you in this? What impact do you want your company to have? What do you have? What's your intention? Who has a need for your services? You know, who are you going to target? And a lot of people, I want everybody, but you don't do a company for everybody. You've got to have a target group. So kind of figure it out. We're going to do more of that when we do our marketing plan, but kind of have that in mind when you do your mission statement. What need is your company trying to satisfy? Is there a need that you're satisfying, or is it your own need? Because people only go to a business and purchase things when they feel a need for it. They don't do it because you have a need to get rid of something. And what's the main method that or activity that you're going to use to fulfill this purpose? Are you selling? Are you doing arts and stuff? You know, you're providing a facility or something. What method are you going to use? You're going to use the internet? You're going to talk to people. People are going to come in and purchase things from you. You go out to people. You know, you're going to do a contract with people. You know, what's your main method or activity? How are you going to fulfill these things? And does your company intend to have a local, neighborhood, community-wide, or regional, national scope? You want to start off national? You want to just start off right here in Sacramento? If you do a web page, then you might be doing international. You know, is your group just going to be in the South Sacramento area? And most businesses, when we first start here, it's usually local, usually in a certain area, a certain part of Elk Grove, a certain part of South Sacramento, a certain school district. So you've got to look at that, a certain demographic in that area. And what difference will your company make for those who seek or who it seeks to serve? Also, another thing with a lot of entrepreneurs that people miss is that you don't always have to develop the product. A lot of times you sell other people's product. Like I told you last week about the guy that was selling the toys from China and ended up buying it from a local store. The local store went out of business, and then they ended up buying a bunch of them and becoming a distributor and made millions of dollars. So you don't always have to be the person that comes up with it. Yes? A minute. Let me get you guys to break into groups. We got 3 on that side, 3 on this side. And I want you to put together a brief mission statement. Sit in a group, write each of you individually, write your quick mission statement, just a real short one, and then share it with the people in your group, see what they think. Then what we're going to do is come back and have you share it with everybody in here. So do that real quick. Just take a couple of minutes where you're sitting, write a quick mission statement for your company. Just a real short one. I don't want paragraphs and stuff, no more than a couple of sentences. And then what I want you to do is sit down, turn around with the people in your side. Greg, this is your group. And Clarice, this is your group. So write your own mission statement, then sit around and talk about it with each other and help each other tweak it a little bit. If you got questions about it, ask them the questions. If it sucks, tell them nicely that it sucks. It needs to be redone so they can get some clarity. And then we're going to get in front of each other and talk about them real quick so you can present them to the group, see what you think. So no more than 3 sentences. I'll be right back. See why people keep coming in here looking for me. You guys dancing?
Okay. So my mission statement for my business, Urban Legacy, is to build self-esteem, empower, and prepare youth for a promising future through education services, professional advocacy, and biblical guidance.
Okay. Questions, comments? Clear?
Can you read it one more time?
Sure. To build self-esteem, empower, and prepare youth for a promising future through education services, professional advocacy, and biblical guidance.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Anybody just jump up? Come on up. Sister Sharon, come on up. Come on up front. Good thing you wore your good dress today, huh?
Oh, yeah, this is for the women's conference. I wanted to be festive holiday.
Our attire here is business casual.
And I got my flats on because I wasn't going to be wearing heels.
Not all day, huh?
You won't do a foot shot. You good.
My mission statement is Heart to Heart Ministries, which is a music and performing arts academy, exists to educate, inspire, and nurture the spirit of young artists. The academy is open to all youth with emphasis on those in underexposed and at-risk communities. Building partnerships with non-arts and arts organizations to broaden the art experience of our youth and community, and then sharing our artistic accomplishments with the community.
Wonderful.
Oh, go.
Can you go back? Can you just read it again?
Yes.
It was
Critique.
Well, I wonder if it's too long.
Yeah.
Really, that's what's going in my
Little
head,
lengthy,
really,
little
seriously.
lengthy, but come on.
Okay, Heart to Heart Ministries is a music and performing arts academy, exists to educate, inspire, and nurture the spirit of young artists. The academy is open to all youth with emphasis on those in underexposed and at-risk communities. Building partnerships with non-arts and arts organizations to broaden the art experience of our youth and community, and then sharing our artistic accomplishments with the community.
Who are the non-arts? And why would they, if they're non-arts, why would they want to do art?
Non-arts are, let me see, I'm trying to think, because I've had them, had people that are not artists work with me, say that there are people that are grant writers. I need to work with grant writers to help get the money that I need for the organization.
Maybe call them other disciplines.
Call them what?
Other disciplines.
Other
instead of
disciplines.
non-arts, yeah.
Instead of non-arts.
Sounds kind of negative to say non-arts.
Is it, okay. And people that, organizations that even work with children, say social services, that's not an arts organization.
That's another discipline. It's not right word.
But it is an organization that I would love to collaborate with, you know, to nurture and educate their children in arts. Probation is another non-arts organization, you know, going in there and collaborating with probation and working with those kids that are on probation.
Yeah, just say other disciplines. I mean, even
So
if you
other
give some
disciplines.
examples, social services, you know, instead of saying probation, it's social services.
Okay.
Or
Okay,
but instead of using negative term, use positive
okay.
discipline instead of non.
Yeah, because it makes it sound like somebody who doesn't support the arts.
Yeah,
Oh,
So why would
okay.
you want to be involved with somebody who doesn't support the arts?
good point.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
That is
that's on
a
that
very
one
good
sheet?
point. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I just envisioning 3 or 4 paragraphs, but you got it down to one nice little thing. So.
Oh, I was wondering if it was too long.
If some on that where you're describing your group, that first and second sentence, is there some way you can maybe combine those without making it a run-on sentence? because you kind of enhance on what your target group is there.
Well, you mean where it says Heart to Heart Ministries, which is a music and performing arts academy, exists to educate, inspire, and nurture the spirit of young artists. Then it goes into academy.
Who are from disadvantaged, because you talk about where they come
from. The spirit of young artists who are from underexposed.
Yeah, then you can combine it all together.
That was my concern if it was too long.
Yeah. So it's a good start. You got everything in there.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
And we're not criticizing you guys.
No.
So come on up, whoever's next. Let's move along. Come on, Clarice. Yeah, come on up. We all family here. What happens in training stays in training.
Okay, well, this is my first.
I don't hear about none of this.
This is my first. I don't even have a name yet.
I don't even want to hear no prayers about it in church. Please give it the spirit of right.
I don't have a name yet, but
okay.
Anyway. My mission is to provide love and care to every person placed in the home, to treat every person as though they were my family member, to always remember that the quality of care is in the power of our hands.
Okay. What kind of home?
Boarding care. A care home.
Okay. I would just say that part just might need to be a little bit more specific. Because I wasn't for sure, like, if you're talking about foster home or like you said, a care home.
Mm-hmm.
So just probably just more specific. It sounds really nice though.
And you may want to instead of say boarding care, loving care facility. Senior care facility, care facility.
Senior care home, something.
But
like
come
that.
up with a clever word for it so it doesn't sound like you're boarding people, housing people, warehousing people.
Yeah.
Warehousing people.
My mission is to provide love and care to every person placed in the home, to treat every person as though they were my family members.
Okay, right there. Instead of your family members, give them, something about family type care, or as if they were at home with if they were family.
Okay.
I'll say my family member, but family type care. Come up with some phrase that says that they're going to be treated like they're in a family.
Yeah, treated
but
like family.
Don't attribute it to be in your family, because remember, this is going to be from your organization, not an individual. So you're going to be a business owner, so you're not going to be Clarice. So if I say from my family, from our family, or a loving member of our family, might be more appropriate than my family.
Okay.
But you're on the right track, because you want to impress upon that as family. I'm going to treat everybody like their family. So you're on the right track. So good. Any other comments?
Good job. Oh.
Well, I've already said.
Yes.
You said you got that.
I think it was basically what you guys had said, to make things a little bit more specific, and to where it's not her family,
right.
But what other words could be used rather than your family, and why you exist.
Yeah.
What makes you so unique?
And that's what I was.
What's your moat?
What's my moat?
What sets you apart from other boarding care facilities?
The love.
Okay, so express that,
That's what sets me apart. All of usually the love is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
True.
So
that's not there.
So put that in there. We provide,
because when your business expands, we're just going to speak that right now. When your business expands and you have other people that work under you, you want people that are just as passionate as you are, because that's how you're going to ensure that they're going to provide the same kind of service that you desire to provide for each person while you're treating them like family. You want somebody else that's just as driven, just as motivated, because you've seen those people that it's just a job to them, and that love, that devotion, that passion for the job is not there. So you could kind of develop something around that, around the passion aspect of it.
Family environment, loving care.
Okay.
Like I treat my grandmama. But you'll come over. You're on the right track. Just keep pumping it out.
Good work.
By the time you write it, that 30-second time, it's gonna flow.
It's gonna be right.
Who's next? Rosa, you coming up?
I'm coming.
Then we'll have Deborah, and then we'll end with Greg. Guys, see how easy this is? Piece of cake, huh?
So do you have
See why you don't do it on your own? You go to Joseph Business School, so you can do these things. Okay, Rosa, face the camera.
What? Oh, Okay.
You good, you okay.
Alrighty. The name of my business is the Way to Go Club. So our mission is to establish recognition to our neighbors and community for a more safety and healthy environment. Our company will uphold sanitation and nutrition at all times. We will implement our First Lady's Michelle Obama plan for good nutrition.
Needs a little bit of work on how you got it. When you talked about sanitation in the middle, it's like, okay.
Oh, I need to move that.
You got a plumbing problem over there?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to go back up there.
Yeah, come back up there.
Okay.
You're on the right track.
So take that out.
Anybody else got some comments? Read it again.
Can you read it again?
Read it again.
We're the Way to Go Club.
The
That's
Way to
our
Go.
business.
The way to go.
The Way to Go Club.
Okay. W-A-Y.
Mhm.
Okay.
And our mission is to establish recognition to our neighbors and community for more safety and healthy, for a more safety and healthy environment.
Okay.
Our company will uphold nutrition at all times. We will implement our First Lady's Michelle Obama's plan for good nutrition. So
Okay, instead
I
of
have to
implement,
study on some.
instead of implement, it's like you'll follow.
We will follow.
Yeah, carry out or
You'll
something.
carry out, yeah.
Okay.
Carry out.
And instead of sanitation, put cleanliness.
Okay.
That doesn't sound like you're working on the sewer.
Okay.
Because you can keep your community clean.
Yes, clean.
Is that what you were getting
Just
at? Keeping
one-
the community clean and nutritious?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you might even say, we're working towards a clean and healthy, nutritious, and clean
Healthy.
community.
Okay.
Something like that that shows
Okay.
that these are some of the things you're trying to do. And when you say Michelle Obama, we know it's a nutrition program.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe her program's nutrition
Try to get in
principles or
touch
something.
with her.
But keep working
Yeah,
at it. Anybody else got
yes.
any comments for her? Good job. Good job. So keep wordsmithing it, put it on a computer. It'll help you with your wording, your grammar, and that kind of stuff. The green lines will show up. So put it on a computer. We
I have
can
an
use the
accent.
computers here. I'll show you how to use the computers. You can't print out on the computers, but you can log on. Log in for the computers. I'm trying to remember I think it's student. But anyway, I'll check with Brother Fool, he's on it all the time, but the password is,
You're a lefty.
everybody is. Winston 1 is the password, and I'll ask Brother Fool when he gets back what the password is. But
The
password.
username.
That's the password, what the username is. I've got it down somewhere.
Or what is that for?
That's
To
for
use
getting
the
on these
computer.
computers in here.
To print or just to get on the computer?
You can't print, but you can write on them. We need to hook that printer up, so maybe we get some more time, or maybe you and I can do it after class if you got some time today. Because it's just a free computer. So remind me, I'll get the word, but Winston 1 is the password. I think it's student or something. Okay. Deborah and then Gregory. Brother Greg.
All right, I'm ready, I think. My company name is Parker Entertainment and Management. My company is Parker Entertainment and Management. Our mission is to motivate the youth to pursue their dreams in the entertainment industry. We provide a platform for all artists by exposure, representation, guidance, career development, and a collaborative effort to diligently promote their efforts. I'm ready.
A lot of adjectives in there, but.
I'm an adjective
Yeah.
person, unfortunately. I'm gonna scale it down. Just
Yeah,
it's
you
my
can-
first time ever.
You can take diligently out for sure. Oh, I mean, that's what I would.
My suggestion would be to put something before exposure.
Yeah.
What type of exposure?
Okay.
Uh,
Exposure to what, yeah.
right, yeah. because I know what you mean, because it's an entertainment business, so you want to get them, you know, exposure. You want to have like that connectivity, that networking to market your people. So
positive aspects of the entertainment community, entertainment business.
Yeah,
it's more exposure. I'm thinking of more performances, shows, things of that nature as far as exposure.
Okay, exposure.
Okay, okay.
That's the exposure I'm speaking
Okay,
of.
okay,
I probably
okay.
just worded different,
So
but
say
that's
that.
what I'm. That's
I
what
like
I'm
the
meaning.
word exposure though.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah, that's what a lot of youth don't get.
Yeah, they
go to
Right, yeah.
ballets
And just to
things
kind of
like
give you guys a
plays
little
and
bit of
stuff.
background to take up too much class time. In 2008, there was a group of young individuals that were just, they were in high school, you know, in a rough part of Valley High School, and they were just kind of like dancing on the street. And they would do what they call, I guess, dance battles. I guess they, you know, our old school would be like a break dance or whatever,
right,
and
right.
theirs is turf dancing or whatever you want to call it.
Telling your age.
And that's okay. I'm proud of. That's all right. And I saw this talent, this raw, not structured, but raw talent, and I was like, you know, I would watch them. I pick up my kids and I would watch them. I said, "Don't you guys want to get on stage?" And I was like, no one really would allow us to get on stage, you know, because they were what everyone's used to. Everyone's used to choreography teams, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they were like raw talent.
Right.
And I had a community leader. I'm not sure if anybody in here ever heard of Greg King. Probably not. Entertainment. And he took a chance. I talked to him, and I gifted the gab. I talked to him, and he gave him a chance. Put him on stage, and he just tore the house down.
Wow.
And they have performed all over California, Nevada, Las Vegas for Nike. Nike saw him at a Nike representative. Saw them out here in Sacramento actually performing. It was like, gave me a business card. I was just like, oh yeah, right. Until she called and flew us all to Vegas.
Wow.
So you know they've accomplished a lot, and you know it started
That's
there. It
inspiring,
started out in high
yeah.
school, and you know someone's mom just kind of like, you know, what you guys want to, you know.
Right.
So that's a little bit of
So now you
background.
got to help
Wow.
other people to get into the group to replace those that are graduating out of
Oh,
Or
yeah.
just find be a
Just
talent
work on that.
locally.
Work on your adjectives. Don't
Okay.
use too many.
Okay.
3, 4, maybe.
Scale down 3 or 4. Okay.
Yeah. Talk about clarify what you're exposing them to,
Okay.
because you want it to be inclusive, but not, you know, too much information.
Okay.
Just give them a real overview of what to look for. You want to kind of peek your hand, you know.
Okay.
Because most of you have a good idea of what you want, but just put it in words is always tough for people. Like trying to write a book, you know, you start off with this great idea, but you put it on paper, it doesn't say what you want it to say. So just keep playing with it, toying with it.
Yeah, I got
Put it on computer, like I say, it'll help you do some of you'll see the green lines
Yeah.
for vocabulary and red lines for spelling and all that. It'll help you out. Okay, Brother Greg.
Okay. James Media is a full-service production company dedicated to producing unconventional and unique documentaries and the promotion of new artists and businesses. James Media mission is to provide quality production services to faith-based artists, church ministries, and businesses through multimedia, focusing on faith-based content that highlights various issues and cultural issues. Working with innovative minds and engaging materials that reach beyond the boundaries of tradition.
It was what kind of issues and cultural issues?
Social and cultural issues. Let me read it again. James Media is a full-service production company dedicated to producing unconventional and unique documentaries and the promotion of new artists and businesses. James Media mission is to provide quality production services to faith-based artists, church ministries, and businesses through multimedia, focusing on faith-based content that highlights various social and cultural issues. working with innovative minds and engaging materials that reach beyond the boundaries of tradition.
It sounds like it sounds like it's twofold, and I think if you were gonna put that information like on a website, you could put the first part of it under like your objectives for like part of your intention, but it sounds like your mission actually starts with James Media, the mission of right when you said mission, that's when I actually started listening to your actual mission statement.
Right.
So the part that precedes that is kind of it's informational. I think it'd be useful, but I don't think that part should be attached to your mission statement because your mission statement is pretty solid on its own without all of that, and that makes it very, very lengthy too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing is you only doing Christian businesses.
I know that we are in the last days, and one of my goals is to let people know of the goodness of God.
The only reason I'm asking is if you use that, what you just said,
I don't make
you
no
might
money.
want to put businesses and Christian,
Okay.
Because some businesses you might want to touch them with some Christianity, and it may change them. If you say Christian businesses, you cut yourself
Cutting them
down
out,
to
you
just
cut
a
them
small
out,
group.
yeah.
Faith-based artists, church ministries, and businesses.
So see, all that follows religion.
Yeah, it's church,
So you
church,
might
and
wanna
then not
say-
church. Like, I think that's how you separate it: church, church affiliation, then not church affiliation. But the way that it all flows together, because businesses is last, it's assumed that that's
Church
also
business.
church too.
Okay.
Church,
So
church,
put
church.
business first, and then faith-based, and then church. That way you just open to more businesses. It opens up your target group.
Okay. That
Read
makes
further
sense.
down from there was something else I wanted you to.
Mm-hmm. Through multimedia, focusing on faith-based content that highlights various social and cultural issues, working with innovative minds, and engaging material that reaches beyond the boundaries of tradition.
Can you put engages innovative minds and engages in something that you can connect right there? Engaging innovative minds and it's the second part of it.
High quality. Put high quality. You said quality of production. Hopefully your production is all quality. You want yours to be high quality. Or best quality. Make it what's different. Give yourself a moat. What's better about your quality than everybody else's?
Okay.
High quality.
Extremely high quality, Put some kind of adjective on that quality.
Okay.
Top quality.
Okay.
Superior quality.
That's a good word.
That sets you apart.
Yeah.
Something that'll stand out.
Superior. Good
quality,
moat.
'cause you just-
That's a good
Nobody gonna say I do bad.
right.
Everybody's supposed to know that you do quality production. But
Right.
You wanna make sure
Otherwise,
get
like
you a moat.
Okay.
What makes your quality better than other superior quality?
Okay.
Something like that.
All right, great. Thank you.
There you go.
Good work, you guys.
Good work.
Quickly, we're gonna go to the other part, because what you started on, I hear in some of your presentations, is that you've already started working on your strategies, your goals and objectives, and some of your action plans. And then the metrics is just how you measure. So I want to just quickly run through those, what those mean. So now you've created your mission, you're going to revise it, you're going to tweak it, but as you get into your strategies and your goals, you may find that your mission's going to change. Because your goals say, oh, okay, well now that I'm over here, I need to change this so it reflects that I'm going over here. So one of the things you want to do is specifically what are the 2 or 3 areas of interest that will ensure the mission of your company is realized. Just 2 or 3. Don't go to 10 things. 1, 2, or 3. So what are 1, 2, or 3 things that will ensure that your company's mission will be realized? How are you going to realize that? What are 2 or 3 things you're going to do that'll make sure that becomes a reality? Are the goals measurable? So when you write your goal, how do you know you reached it? Does it have a time frame on it? Does it have a quantity on it or a quality? So that everybody I can see your goal when you reach it as well as you. Because some people have a goal and nobody knows that they've reached it, including the person that wrote it. So I read a lot of grants and stuff, and people say, well, you know, we're going to do so-and-so. So when are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? What's the product? What's it going to look like when it's done? How can I tell that it's done? You know, how can Clarice tell that it's done when she walks over there? If I say, well, this was his goal, she'll be able to say, oh yeah, he did that last year. You know, so you want to have something that people can see, something that's tangible. At least it's got a number, a product, a time date that it's done. So by December 31st, I'll have a plan for my church's New Year's Eve celebration with these things done. Or by December 31st, I'll have a first draft of my marketing plan for presentation in class. You know, or a 3-page marketing plan, or a marketing plan with these components. So something that you can measure, that helps you as well. When the goals are accomplished, where your company's interests have clearly been advanced, are your goals going to advance your company? Are they really going to help do something? You know, you're just going to have a goal to have a goal, because I told you you had to have 3 goals. Or is your goal going to accomplish something? You're going to have a place, a person, and you're going to move forward from where you are today because of your goals. Is your company going to be better for it? You know, you're going to have 5 people in a home. You're going to have a home and 5 people in it. Is that your goal by the end of 2013? Or is your goal to just have a home or have a piece of property? But that doesn't give you a business if there's nobody in it. You don't have any employees and you're not making money. If you got something, you've got a business and it's not making money, you know what they call it?
A hobby.
A hobby. It's a hobby. And everybody got a hobby. If you're not making any money, it's a hobby. You're here to make a business and make money. And you're trying to make lots of money. You know, you're not setting your goals low.
Well, see, I guess that's one of the things that I'm dealing with now, because I have such a passion for the piano and the performing arts and all that. I'm like practically giving it away. And that's where my sponsors and the community would come.
And that's the money, because all money doesn't mean it's in your pocket and you get richer for it. For yours, it might be that your company profits and you can bring in more students. You got resources and you got a permanent place for it. You're making a profit. So you can hire other teachers and you're not the only teacher there. But that's making money. That's a profit. Other people think of it, well, you know, I got a big pocket full of money. I got a Mercedes-Benz convertible. You know, I'm getting ready to buy this big house up in El Dorado Hills. You know, that's not necessarily what everybody is. They make money, but you did too. You just invested yours back in the company. And eventually you can give yourself a nice salary to cover your time. You can quit the school district and spend your time running your business.
That's exactly what I'm
So then that's a profit. You've made money. But it's all maybe a nonprofit that's making money and you're the head of the nonprofit. The other is, what are you trying to achieve? Does the goal really tell you what you're trying to achieve? You wrote a mission statement, so what are you trying to achieve? Are you just trying to get the kids that you have in your group, your entertainment group, to go a lot of places? What happens when they get to be 25 and too old to dance, or 30 and trying to raise a family? You still going to do that, or are you going to be training new youth to go in and learn it and move on? You're going to start 2 or 3 dance groups because now you're getting so many requests that you can't be in 2 places at the same time.
That's the problem I have.
Are you training other people to work with you so you can expand out? And on Martin Luther King Day, you got 5 engagements, and if one group can't do the 5 entertainment.
I've been there. I have a dance team. I have a rap group.
So that might be one of your goals. You know, do you expand it? You bring in new people, getting people trained. You bring in a choreographer to tighten up their steps. And what are you trying to preserve? Is there something about your business you want to preserve that's always stays there and goes on? Or do you want your company always evolving? You know, is there a church usually wants to preserve something so the next generation comes through and we still got some certain principles the South Sacramento Christians there. You know, when your grandkids come here and go to church, and see where grandmama went to church and granddaddy went to church, you know, the same kind of stuff that she talked about. So, you know, those are the kind of things you might want to preserve for your company. So, you can come in. And what are you trying to avoid? certain kind of people you don't want in your group, certain kind of things you don't want to do with your group. You know, you don't want to go bankrupt. You know, but there are certain things you want to avoid that you might want to put into your goals. So think about that when you're trying to write your goals. Here's a sample of a goal, and actually it's kind of an objective too. Increase sales by 10% in the first quarter. Now, is it measured? Is it specific? This is how you measure. We call them SMART objectives: SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely or time bound. Those are measures that you use for everything you write to see if it's accurate. So, is this measurable? Is this specific? Tell you specifically what they want to do. Is it specific? You know exactly what they want to do?
Increase sales.
They want to increase all sales. Sell a specific product. They only got one product to sell.
Oh.
Could be a little more specific. Right?
Could be,
all
yeah.
sales or sales of this particular product.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So if you got more than one product or more than one thing you're doing, you know, then you might want to specify that. If you got more than one target group, all sales to certain to churches, or to, you know, faith-based organizations, then that might be specific, because it might be one group you can penetrate better than you can penetrate another group. So if you pin it all on everything, in one group you do 20%, the other group you do 0, then you spread that percentage across the 3 groups that you're targeting. You haven't done 10% sales. You did 20% in one group, and that was real good. But altogether, you did, what, 15% all across the board. So you kind of, you know, or 13% or 9%, you missed the mark. So those are some things to consider. Is it measurable?
Yes.
How do you measure it?
Well, it's asking for a specific percentage.
Did they do 10% by the end of the first quarter?
Right.
2 things you can measure by: how much they did and when they did it.
Time, yeah.
Yes.
That's something that
Okay.
we're agreeing with.
Yeah, so you got a time frame, it's timely, and it's a measure. So if they did less than 10%, they didn't meet the mark. If they did greater than 10%, they exceeded it. Is it achievable? Can you do 10%?
It depends. It's kind of hard to measure that. That's kind of gray, like if it's achievable and if it's realistic, because we don't know what the sales were before that to know if that's realistic.
Right.
You know, if you're only selling 2%, then expecting 10%, yeah, then so it's hard to.
Ticket to get up there.
Right. Yeah. So it's hard to know if it's achievable based on previous whatever happened before.
So you don't want to set your sights too high for your company.
Right.
Just like you said, Priya said, if you're only doing 2% now, and what's a quarter? 3 months? And you really jump from 2% to 10% in 3 months?
Yeah, that might not.
Christmas time is hard to do that.
Right. That might not be realistic.
So it might not be realistic. So you want to make it realistic and achievable. Can you do it by yourself? If you got 10 people working for you, you might be able to get close to it. You know, or if you got a new product line coming out, but make sure you got realistic things, and then it's timely because you got when it's going to be done. Strategies. Now, once you set your goal, strategies tell you how you're going to do it. So, for example, I've got a goal. I want to get to Los Angeles by the end of the day. So, my strategies might be to choose between flying, driving the car, or catching the Greyhound bus. So 3 different strategies. So then what you've got to do is weigh the strategies. What's the value of the strategies? What are the few critical issues that must be addressed to achieve the goal? Okay, my goal is to get there by the end of the day. Greyhound going to do it? If I go to Greyhound Station down, am I going to get there by the end of the day? I might get about 11,
late,
12
yeah,
at
it's
night,
going to be late, yeah.
And if I catch an express.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's probably not going to, so I'm going to have to kick that one out. That's not a good strategy. Now, if I take the car, I might get there. If I take the plane, then the cost might be prohibitive. You know, I'm going to pay twice as much. So that narrows down your strategies. What are the specific factors that that will take your company from its current state to its desired state? So there's some factors in there, you know, to have to consider. Factor is cost. Factors, do I have a car? Factors, do I have gas money? Factors, do I feel like driving for 6 hours to get there? Factor is it's foggy. Is that going to slow me down? You know, factor is I'm told my wife I'm going. I may not get to go. So, you know, a lot of factors in there you have to consider. So the same thing with your company. There's specific factors that'll take me from the current state to my desired state. So what are some of the factors that'll get there? What are some things you need to line up to get to where you want to go in your goal? And then what are 2 or 3 items that will ensure that the goals are met? What are 2 or 3 things you need to do to make sure you get there? So maybe if I get my buddy to help me drive, he chip in on the gas, take my wife with me, you know, then I can probably get there by the end of the day. Good. And are the strategies single or multi-year? You know, we put up a lot of strategies and we set up a lot of goals. And, you know, I've seen a lot of them where they put in their grants or their proposals that everything's going to be done by the end of the year, by December 31st, by December 31st. Some things you can't do by December 31st. You know, some things you got to drag out might have to be a 2-year goal. Or you have to break it down. You do part of it now, you do part of it next year, and then you do the final part the 3rd year. You know, hiring staff. I see a lot of proposals come in, and you know, they write the proposal, we fund it in October, and they say by the 1st of the year we're going to have staff on. Well, you haven't even started the business. By the time I give you the money in October, you really be able to sit down and do interviews and do a posting for the job and get an office space and have somebody on board on January 1st? Probably not. You know, unless you already got them lined up, they're not going to come work for you on January 1st anyway. They're going to still be partying and stuff. And you don't want them there. Yeah.
Right.
And then what resources need to be engaged to achieve your goals? You know, I already talked about some resources for, you know, getting to the trip. I need a car, I need gas, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Probably going to need some food. So there's some things you need to think about when you're trying to get to that goal. Here's some strategies. Organizational. What type of company should you form, and what are tax implications of your choice? We're going to have that in one of our classes where we talk about the different types of businesses, sole proprietor, partnership, 501c3. A lot of them have different tax implications. And you know, which one do you make the most money off of? What's it more beneficial for you? You know, 501c3 has no taxes, but there's certain ways things you got to report. And there's a limit on how much profit you make. Sole proprietor, you cover all the costs and everything. Partnership, you got to get decisions and share things with your partners. So there's some pros and cons of each one. Marketing. What communications and branding strategy will you employ? What's branding?
You have like a logo or design, and then it's going to include your mission statement.
And you use it on everything. You notice when I send out all your materials, I got Joseph Business School of Sacramento on the header. Joseph Business School on everything. That's branding. And that's our trademark, our service mark. So, you know, we keep that on everything, so you keep that in everybody's mind. We're doing our website now. We're trying to do Joseph Business School of Sacramento on it. Oh, cool. So that's our brand. That's our branding. And you need to do that with your company. Whatever it is, you're going to come up with logos and stuff. And in our last class, we had people develop their own logos. You can go to a graphic artist if you happen to know somebody that does graphics in your class. You can go to them. Supportive employee groups beyond individual accountabilities. So your employees and people that are working in your organization have to go above and beyond. You know, are the kids able to come down and help do the sale? You have to get the parents to help do the sales, or you know what goes into it. And will the action plans that generate enthusiasm, engagement, and commitment? A DVD sale, you know, everybody. We talked about things that'd be kind of enthusiastic if you could get it going. You know, and that time of night, they're probably gonna want some food, some hot dogs and salads and all that. You know, that would be good, because then they can come there and don't have to go home and try and find something first. So look at those aspects when you're putting these plans together. And here's just a little sheet to help you kind of develop your ideas. So they call it developing a pipeline for potential customers in the first quarter. So they start with an internet business, and you know, there's the traffic on the website, and then so you can measure the website, what's going on, how many hits you get. Do you represent represent your target market, or are you getting hits from people who are just trying to tap in and just looky-loos and not doing anything, not trying to buy anything? And then is your website customer friendly? You have to tweak it a little bit. Do you have to hook it into Google, so when they go to Google, it gets a first hit instead of being at the bottom of the list? You know, do you have to send out an email or something for the website? Do you have people like you on Facebook and then have the Facebook have a link to the website. You know, and increase your networking opportunities. Have you connected with 5 persons? Do you go to the first Friday for the business networking? You know, you member of the Chamber of Commerce if your business is big enough. You know, what are you doing to network? Do you go to the networking events in the community? And at least 3 industry networking events per month. You know, are you going to 3 of those? These are just some measures. You may only go the first Friday. That might be enough for you to get your name out. You know, you may just do it at church. You may have your booth at health fairs, pay $10 for a table, but it gets you enough exposure at the health fair so that people learn about your company. Play that DVD that you made. Have it playing on your laptop the whole time you're there. What's that? Oh, I know him. Yeah, how you get into this? I need something for my grandson. I got to get him off the street. No, we're not going to do this breakout session because we're going a little bit. But what I want you to do, and for your homework, is for you to develop strategy, action plan, and metrics for the mission statement that you came up with. So come up with a goal. You get a mission statement. Come up with one goal. Do a strategy for it, an action plan, and how you're going to measure it. And here's one way to do it: your strategy, your metrics, and your action plan. Do your little chart like this for that mission statement that you put together. That'll be your homework. Send it to me by Saturday.
So you want us to this pipeline?
Mm-hmm.
This pipeline along?
No, don't do the pipeline. I want you to use your mission statement.
Okay.
And then develop your own goal for your mission statement. Don't do pipeline. Just do this chart.
Okay.
This is their goal. Don't use that goal.
Okay.
And then this is my email address.
Mission statement. For the mission statement we made today.
Yeah, the one you gave me today. And Sister Rosa, that's my real email address, not just a business school. So send it to here, Judge Johnson 11.
Did you get mine?
I did.
Okay.
jjohnson11 at comcast.net. So send that to me. That'll be your homework this week.
I put the slashes.
No, you did Joseph Business School. jjohnson11 at comcast.net.
Is there a period after the J, the first J?
Yeah, j.johnson11.
I just saved it and sent it back.
So do that chart.
That's a capital C.
No, it's Comcast, so all small lowercase. j.johnson11 at comcast.net.
But that Comcast beginning is a small C.
Small C. That's going to be your homework.
I'm sorry. It says the right to answer the flip chart. I'm sorry, I'm looking on.
No, that was for the group. I'm doing it as homework now. So take it. We're not going to do the group work. You're going to do it as homework, so I'm going to let you go. So unless you guys want to stay and do it as a group, I'm going to let you go. I think you've done enough work today. So what I want you to do is get your mission statement that you wrote, and I want you to write one goal. For that goal, I want you to do the strategies, metrics, action plan.
Okay.
Yeah, and then email it to me
Next week,
That's gonna be
last
something.
week.
for this year. Yeah.
That's gonna be something. Still working on the mission statement.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole purpose. Because once you start doing this, you're gonna be tweaking your mission statement. It's not gonna be the last time you're gonna work on your mission statement.
know.
So when you get to your marketing plan, you're gonna change your mission statement. When you get to your business plan, you're gonna change your mission statement. And when you listen to other people's mission statement, I'm gonna change mine again. So that's why we start early. So by the time you go through week 32, you're gonna have a
We'll have
tight.
it together.
When you get up to present your business plan, you're gonna be so different from what you thought you started with this week. You're gonna be
I
totally
believe it.
different. You're gonna be so proud of yourself. I know I'll be proud of you. Clarice finally got it.
You can explain that right here, that cord. Why do we need it on the side, on the other side? Why do we need it?
Oh, if you got a laptop, you got a laptop?
No,
Okay, you need one?
I don't. Yes.
Okay. Pastor Deborah says she's got a couple of laptops. This is how you get on Wi-Fi. You don't need it.
Yeah,
I don't need it.
got
I'm
You needed
just
one
saying.
too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She said she's got one for you. I didn't know.
Yeah,
Royce
I
had
talked
needed one. You
to
talked to
her.
her?
I talked to her.
Okay, so she, you gonna pick it up for her?
She didn't, we didn't get it for time
Okay, she
and
said
day.
$50.
Yeah, she told me that.
Okay.
Mhm.
So,
But she wasn't sure if it was Wi-Fi ready.
They got Wi-Fi ready.
Okay.
Yeah, you might have to take it to, if you wanna take it to the shop. Brother Google got one, and he took it down to